Why did he care? Avienda's slow breathing seemed loud in his ears until he fell asleep, and then he dreamed a confused dream of Min and Elaine helping him throw Avienda wearing nothing but that necklace over his shoulder while she beat him over the head with a wreath of sagade blossoms. Kinky.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the Wordy Book Club. I'm just gonna try and fix that.
The Nerdy and the Wordy.
The Nerdy and Wordy Book Club. We're changing the title 3 episodes in. Welcome back, everybody. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Glarus.
And this week we are going to be discussing The Fires of Heaven. This is book...
It's a book.
5?
Yes.
We're on book 5 of The Wheel of Time.
No. That was a perfect place to end things. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, y'all, welcome back. This was my least favorite section of reading we've done in the entire podcast.
The whole thing?
Yeah, this was a lot of like setup of nothing.
Yeah, there was not a lot to, like, sink your teeth into this part. Actually, that's not 100% true. I did take a picture, I think, of Egwene's dreams.
Mm-hmm, there was the one dream
so
section,
we'll definitely get into dissecting that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Good morning. How are we doing? Welcome back to Book Club.
Yeah, we definitely need to change how we do the start of the show. Because I think that people see an ad, and then I think that the people who are live, also, what's up, live viewers?
Hi.
You the real MVPs. I think all they heard you say was kinky.
I think so as well. We should honestly set up a starting soon timer.
Yeah, we should.
We'll start at 10 minutes before the stream. Chat can come in, and then that way you don't have the ad cutting off the last sentence of the book. So, yay. Yay.
But good morning, everybody. Yeah, how are you feeling about The Fires of Heaven so far?
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Like I enjoyed the first section of the book definitely more than this one. I agree. This one was a little meandery. Like there wasn't anything of like vital importance, at least like outward vital importance. Jeremy, welcome to the nerd table.
Did Nightbot just mod out someone's message?
Yeah, so if you put excessive capitals, if you spam a message...
We need to turn that off. People are allowed to go all caps in this chat. We get excited about the Wheel of Time here.
So I didn't know that it was like an auto thing when I set it up for last night, because I set it up for the charity stream.
All right, be careful with all caps, people. Apparently, Klaus broke the stream.
No, I didn't know that it came with its own modding system. Yeah, it's fine. We love you guys.
How do I turn off Nightbot then?
How do you turn it off?
Well, yeah, I don't want an auto mod.
Well, you're gonna have to go into Nightbot and you're gonna have to disconnect it.
Okay. Cool. Talk about the book while I try and figure out how to do this.
It should be really easy. You can you log in with YouTube and part channel at the top right. Nope, right there. That button.
Great.
Yay!
Cool.
Bye, Nightbot.
Talk about the book. Orchideer, thank you for joining the Nargs again.
Orchideer, welcome to the nerd table for 6 months. Let's go.
What? Yeah, no. This is going. There's no way.
Sorry, guys. I didn't know. I wanted to be able to have the charity commands for last night's stream. So.
Can someone please try all caps again, just so that we can
All right, this is your moment. Spam the chat. I want all emotes, all caps. So I
just want to make sure that this is turned off.
Everybody, while you're here, smash that like button. All capitals in the chat. What?
Just because they can use all caps doesn't mean you have to shout.
You are saying I'm not loud enough.
That was aggressive.
Smash it. All right, ship captain made it through, so.
Matrick is
That's what matters.
Okay, ship captain made it through, so we're good.
Yeah.
Nathan Prime got timed out for saying good morning. Thanks, Nightbot. That's very helpful of you. We're definitely not using Nightbot. This is absurd. Project Myrtle got spammed out for writing book club, excitedly in all caps.
Oh my god. Wow. It's fine. It's fine. Guys,
Yeah, no.
we got it. We're here. We're back.
Wait. Fabu Moose got timed out by the Nightbot for posting emotes.
Last night, yeah. Sorry.
What chatbot is this? Who would design this?
You can change those things, but we'll just have to do it later.
But who would have people timed out for posting emotes in a live stream?
It's excessive emotes. Whatever Nightbot deems as excessive. Guys, it's becoming sentient.
I can't believe you did this to me.
Guys, we can hear you. It's all good. Smash that like button.
Clarus ruined the whole
Let's
stream.
Let's go.
Clarus ruined the whole channel. We have to delete our YouTube channel because of you now. I hope you know that.
That's a lot of work to start over.
All right. So, yeah, I said this was my least favorite section of the reading.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie. After the highs of book 4 of The Wheel of Time,
yes,
this is not my favorite book.
Not so far. Not so
far.
But
in fact, I would say it's my least favorite book so far.
Your least favorite?
Of the 5 that we've read, yeah. But like pretty consistently, I've been very happy with all of them. The Great Hunt was previously probably the lowest rung, but I liked The Great Hunt a lot. I thought there was a lot to love about that book.
Yeah.
This book so far has been not providing me with what I want from it. And not providing me with the promises of the end of the last book, right? And I think that's where I'm getting a little bit hung up on the narrative so far, is that we had the end of the last book end with this huge confrontation between Asmodean and Lanfear and Rand, and I was coming into the Fires of Heaven excited to spend time with Rand learning about the male half of the One Power.
Yes.
And it is all happening off screen. The most we know about it is that Jason Nateel is saying... in this section, Rand is like, I'm too tired for one of our discussions tonight. But I want those discussions. Like, I want to read that. I don't want Rand to learn about it away from me.
I want to know how the power works more in depth. Like, I want those, like, detailed chapters. Like, I care less about, like, whatever neckline a woman is wearing, and I would rather get more detail on the One Power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I have to pick and choose, it's not a difficult choice. I wonder if it's like purposefully being left vague, which is unfortunate. And also with the prologue of this book, it's like coming out of that, I'm kind of like, I'm not there yet. Now we are not even halfway through. There's still lots of room here for this book to blow me away, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, at this point in time, it is also not my favorite book. I'm not sure where it falls so far, honestly. But I know a lot of you guys love book 5. We're getting there. We're
less than halfway through.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it definitely, the potential is there for everything to get, like, going here.
Yes.
But I'm waiting for it to get going here. And when we get to the Megideon and the Black Aja chapter, I'll really talk about what about this book in particular is not working for me. Because that chapter encapsulates it entirely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not where we're at to start here. We're starting this week with chapter 10, Figs and Mice.
Chat, you guys are funny.
Chat is funny. Also, this isn't Department of Corrections. It's Disney on Classic. I toured Disney.
Wow.
I toured Japan with a concert tour in 2017 with Disney. I realize now that it looks like Department of Corrections. I have a musical theater degree. But I wouldn't wear a Department of Corrections t-shirt. Anyway, that's not important, but maybe I just won't wear this on stream anymore because the people might think I'm a...
No, it's funny.
I don't know what people would think. I don't know. If you've met me, you'd be like, that Batman has never...
Well, but also, why would you wear... Like, why would there be t-shirts?
With, like, a particular year. Yeah. On the back, it says, in Japanese, it says Tender Lumpkins.
Tender Lumpkins.
Yeah, because in the song from A Nightmare Before Christmas, it's like, Tender Lumpkins everywhere. And so we started calling ourselves the Tender Lumpkins. And that was, like, that was the name of our group chat. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So at the end of last week, how long into the podcast did we actually start talking about the book? 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Not bad.
Way to go.
Not bad. Crushing it. To be fair, we had to deal with the bot. So yeah.
I wonder whose fault that is. So
We raised money for charity yesterday.
we did. We helped Fanta raise a lot of money. It was good. So the last week we were saying that we were a little upset that the girls were kidnapped yet again. This time Egwene was not among them, so it doesn't count as an Egwene kidnapping, which means she is not one step closer to being the Amerlin seat, as I have predicted. I did say there were 2 more kidnappings until she became Amerlin seat. It will happen. But the seamstress, where they thought that they were going to get some information, and they did get some information.
They did, yes.
Poisoned them with forkroot tea, an herb that Nynaeve
does not know. I'm assuming it is just because, like, they didn't get a lot of, like, medicinal trade from outside the 2 rivers. So it probably just grows in a place that Nynaeve has never had any connection with, which makes sense, especially when you have this, like, vast continent with a lot of different, not terrains, but, like, environments, I guess. Yeah, it's always fun to see what Nynaeve doesn't know, because it's a lot, even though she thinks she knows everything.
She does. She definitely thinks she knows everything, and frustratingly, she just refuses to eat a slice of humble pie at any point.
Never. Absolutely not ever. I defeated Morgan D, and how dare you? I'm like, all right, girl, you need to chill out.
Yeah, I just wish Nynaeve would learn the lesson that she keeps being, like, forced to learn, but, like, actually learn it. Because she's getting a little... we get to it in this next section where Nynaeve has to play the part of Elaine's maid because they need to do this lord and lady, trick to get across the countryside, essentially.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve gets upset with Elaine for being good at it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's frustrating because I want to like Nynaeve. I think that Nynaeve's character has a lot of potential, and I really like Nynaeve in, like, the first 2 books. But the more she is seeing different parts of the world, and the more she is being shown that she doesn't know everything, and the more, she's constantly being put in these situations where the lesson for her to learn is that she is being a little too brash, a little too arrogant, and she doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
And she's not changing at all.
Like, she can't even, like, thank people for assisting her in any way. Like, the most that you get is, like, she doesn't get mad at you.
Yeah, and so it's book 5, and I'm kind of like, I'm just ready for Nynaeve to change. I'm ready to feel like the characters, and particularly in this group, right? The Elaine, Nynaeve, Tom, and Jewelyn group.
Yeah.
Their group, to me, has been the most stagnant in terms of emotional growth.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for them to show new colors. Because it's starting to get a little bit like, and I think that part of the reason I didn't like this section is it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of them fighting about dumb things.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, all right, we're doing this again, I guess. Like, come on, you guys. There's a big problem here. The world is falling apart, and it is these people's job to solve it. Yeah. And they're so incompetent and even just, like, getting along in the smallest way. Yeah. So much so that Tom, they've known Tom for a year and a bit at this point. Yeah. Tom, who has fought Fades in front of them, has, like, shown that he has a lot of knowledge, has shown all these things. Nynaeve is finally like, oh, maybe he does actually know something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? 5 books. She's like, oh, maybe this, like, political, like, knowledge that Tom has might actually be useful somehow. I'm like, yeah, you think? Like, he knows what he's doing, but I don't know. It takes Nynaeve a long time to get there. She's very, very stubborn. I'm just kind of like, I get that the series is 14 books, but is it 14 books because it literally takes 14 books for Nynaeve to grow up a little bit? Yeah. And start behaving like an adult and not like a entitled girl who just graduated college? Yeah. You know what I mean? She kind of comes across like one of those people who just got their master's degree and is just starting their career and thinks that because they just got out of Harvard, they know everything. Yeah. But they have no practical experience and they're useless in the world. That's kind of where I'm at with her right now. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Now, we did talk about, like, they do get captured at the very end of the last, and then they're
back in this first chapter that we have, chapter 10, is it? Yeah. We were like, oh, okay, oh, great, they're captured again. But we got some useful information out of it. We had an interesting kind of power dynamic shift coming out of it. And so I wasn't upset. I was like, okay, I see why this happened, what it did. Now, they don't have all the pieces, right? Yeah. They know that the Amerlin wants them, but they still think it's
Well, they know
Swan.
the Amerlin wants Elaine.
Elaine, yes. Yeah. But they don't know that there's a new Amerlin, right? So they kind of have, like, half of the puzzle, which is interesting because they're able to piece it together over this section. Yeah, I just... sorry, Nynaeve bothers me, but it's fine.
Yeah, right?
It's fine.
She's mean.
She is. She's, like, not nice. Like, I would not be friends with her.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would not talk to her.
Yeah,
I would avoid her. I would literally, like, just scoff at her and walk away.
Yeah, I'd be like, girl, you got some stuff to work through.
But I also come from a world where, like, if you talk to me like that, I will just tell you off. Like, because I'm not in Tom and Julian's position where, like, they have been tasked with taking care of them, and their honor is bound to taking care of these women. And so, like, it is very much a different situation than my real world position. Yeah. But, Sea Stingray, she's definitely a bully. And,
And she's really judgmental of everybody, including, and this is, like, a Robert Jordan thing, which I honestly, like,
it's a small town thing, though.
Yes, but I'm just kind of tired of the, like, judging how all these different people dress, right? And then she's, like, wearing, like, a nice dress later and is, like, is justifying it for herself. Well, but I can wear it.
That's a thing that people do.
That is a very unlikable quality for me. It's all of these reasons why I'm like, Nynaeve, you're pissing me off.
Well,
like,
and that's the interesting discussion, right? Does Robert Jordan want Nynaeve to be unlikable?
At this point, it kind of feels like it. That's why I think Nynaeve is gonna have, like, a huge arc by the end.
I hope so.
I think Nynaeve kind of started here, and then is gonna do, like, a little bit of a forward, and then several steps back, and then is gonna, like, really show us what she can do by the end. But right now, I'm like, oh my fucking god, like, I just, like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Although, she is starting to have a little bit of an attitude shift towards Moiraine. So that is growth.
Only because Moraine's not there.
Yes,
As soon as they're in the same room again, she's going to be behaving the exact same way.
But it's something. It's, like, I'm trying, guys, here. I'm really trying. But it's something, right? Like, I don't think she's meant to be super likable at this point, so I'm not mad at it. I'm just reading it. I'm like, oh, you're so frustrating. Like...
Yeah. So the important thing that we get out of this is that the woman, the yellow in the tower, that is calling for them is Naren Winbarda, who is maybe not Black Aja, because she's working for Aleda.
I don't think is Black Aja. No, sorry. Before we go one step further, there was a thing that we had talked about, or like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, about the show potentially taking Aleda and Leandrin and making them into one character. And we can very much see how that is, like, not even a little bit possible.
No, I think it is.
You think so?
Yeah, I could see them making the Black Aja the White Tower in the show to compile all of this into one thing. And then Siwan gets stilled, she gets sent away, but she had Nynaeve and Elaine, instead of going to Tenchiko, they are... they're spies for Siwan in the White Tower, looking for the Terangrial that instead of being in a vault in Tenchiko is just in the White Tower. And so they take all of the Tenchiko stuff and they make it the girls in the White Tower with the Black Aja storyline.
I don't know. I don't think. I don't like it, but okay.
I don't like it either, but I could see it as a way to condense those two storylines down and not have to add another location. Because, like, the problem with Tenchiko in terms of, obviously, that we're not there anymore, but the problem with Tenchiko is that it's a pretty crazy huge setting for not very much time. Yeah. So in terms of a television show, that would be a really expensive set and setting to build and to create and to, like, put time into without a lot of payoff for the show. And so I think that they will get rid of Tenchiko in some way for the show, just for budget reasons. And
Potentially.
it will either be in Camelin and they'll make Mogideon and Raven kind of a thing together, or it'll be at the White Tower and they'll just condense that way.
Joey Fisher, thank you for that super chat. It was read as Nynaeve and Elaine as a buddy cop comedy. It kind of is, but it's not funny enough.
Neither of them has a sense of humor, so...
Yeah. Well, because Elaine is also pissing me off with the whole Tom thing and whatever. Well, there's more of that to come. But Master Yarrow, thank you as well for that super duper chat.
Nynaeve needs to smoke some tobacco.
Yeah. She needs to chill out. A little bit. Just a little bit.
I think she needs something harder than tobacco. I think she needs a little marijuana.
Isn't tabac marijuana in this world? Isn't it meant to be weed?
Oh, I thought it was just tobacco.
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I know, maybe
I thought tobacco was just tobacco.
You know what? It might be. Jeremy,
they don't seem to get high off of it. They smoke it they have it in their pipe at night.
They built up that tolerance. I don't know.
Jeremy, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
I started book 1 when you started reading book 3, caught up to book 4, and now I'm starting book 8.
You have a lot more time on your hands.
As for Perrin, he's in the background being Taviran. Yeah, we were going to talk about the Perrin of it all at the end, I think.
I mean, there's none, so.
Basically, the girls leave.
The girls leave, and...
Chapter 10. Or Chapter 11.
Eleda wants Elaine captured anything short of death. Which seems like... It seems excessive considering she believes that Elaine is, the key to all of this. And so maybe, being captured by Eleda is not the relationship that you would want. I don't know. Seems strange.
Nemsi says Elaine's entire character is unnecessary. I can't say I agree with that considering how many chapters she's in.
Yeah, no, she definitely needs to be there. Mm-hmm. God, could you imagine if it was just Nynaeve?
Nynaeve and Tom.
Oh my god.
On the road again. All right, the 9-horse hitch. We catch up with Swan being terrible at her job. And this is what I mean by this was not my favorite reading.
Yeah.
Is that the book wants us to believe that Swan is very smart.
Yes.
But Swan, they have gotten to where are they? They're in Lugard.
Yes.
And they Swan needs some time alone, so she convinces Leanne to start hitting on Logain so that Leanne won't wonder where she went, I think is what happens.
Well, I think it's more so that Logain won't wonder.
Right. So basically, she's like, if Leanne wants to flirt, I might as well use it. And she goes to visit.
She rolls her eyes. She's like, okay.
She goes to visit a bawdy little brawl of a bar.
Uh-huh.
And she goes and she was a blue. She ran the eyes and ears, as they call them, of the blues. These networks of spies that we keep hearing about in this book. Mm-hmm. And she goes up to the patron of the establishment, and she gives the little secret code. You know?
Yeah.
She gives the message back and forth, and the woman is mean to her. But takes her into the back room, and then the woman is like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And Swan's like, "Don't talk to me that way."
I'm like,
and the woman's like,
Swan.
"What? We are spies."
Yeah.
You're
were terrible at this.
You were the leader of the spies. You should know better. I was so disappointed in Swan.
Yeah.
Unbelievably disappointed in her.
Yeah. It was just so awkward because it's like, you've been around long enough. You ran the spy network.
Mm-hmm.
You should understand what she's trying to do. You made this difficult on her,
mm-hmm.
and of course she's upset with you about it. You could have blown her cover.
Yeah.
Right? And Swan is all indignant or whatever, and you can't I don't know. Swan, smarten up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Threk and a lot of people are saying she ran the spy. She was never a field agent. You do not get to be the manager if you don't know how the system works.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that she just was. Yeah, she's accepted first and becomes Aes Sedai, and they're like, you know what? You can skip the ground level training. That seems very strange to me.
Almost like she's slightly out of touch upper management. Okay, I understand the argument for that, to say oh no, she just doesn't know better. But then she's dumb. You know what I mean? Like they've been on the road hiding for weeks now. They have literally almost been put into indentured servitude. If she cannot put together how she should be behaving in this situation, then she's not a smart character. And that's not what I want to. I want to read characters who like know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And these characters in these chapters in particular keep making the dumbest mistakes that aren't even hard to understand, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are on the run and you are pretending to be someone else, you have to give up some things. You have to give up who you were a little bit. And in previous chapters, I thought that we were getting this smart Swan, right? Where she's like, I get these advantages. I'm going to look past the damage of the stilling, and I'm going to view myself in a different way because there are upsides to who I am now, but there are downsides, and I accept that. And it felt like she had come to some sort of acceptance of that. In this scene, it's like she's completely forgotten that the last weeks have existed.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying there's some read and find out things here about like Swan and her position and such, which is fine. Even if she was never like a field agent, you would think that like she would be at least considerate of this woman and not blowing her cover when she has been loyal and for however many years.
You're telling me that the woman that managed to hide that her and Moiraine were plotting about the Dragon Reborn for 20 years isn't good at hiding things?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it is, right? You're telling me this character who has been hiding the gravest of all secrets for 20 years is this bad at hiding something?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. And it's so incongruous with the Swan that we've met up until this point. The Swan who, in front of Gareth Bryan, was very willing to be all kowtowed and lay herself low. Literally, like, last reading section, she was in there being like, I'm just a low woman, right? And, like, suddenly, in this next scene, she's like, who does she think she is? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
She read all the, like, lewd signs and got flustered. All the, like, different lewd, like, in signs.
She saw a naked lady and she was just like, I don't know how to behave.
You know what? I lost it. I actually, I think I wrote one of them down and I was like, what do you think? Because there's one that Swan mentions. Oh, yeah. There's a sign where a naked girl is, like, I think riding on a horse. She's like, I can't say what the name of that inn is. What do you think it is?
I have no idea, but I don't think I can say it on YouTube.
It's not Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy Inn.
What?
Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. What?
Well, I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills.
I honestly just would like some neon signs recreated of all these, like, lewd tavern signs.
That would be fun. That would be a fun shirt idea. The Queen's Blessing, like the sign on a shirt, that'd be cool.
That would actually be fun.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of defense for Swan here, and I'm actually surprised. I did not think that our chat would be as on her side in this scene as they are. Because I didn't get... this scene very much felt out of place to me.
I don't know if I felt as, like, out of places as you did, but I was definitely like, Swan, are you okay? Like, what is happening? What is your thought process here? I don't quite understand what you thought was going to happen. Like, I don't know what she was expecting. You know? Like...
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what she thought would come out of this with her acting that way, and so I don't know. Oh yeah, what do you think the 9-horse hitch is? Because Min is like, I've seen an 8-horse, 8, yeah, and yeah, the 8 hitch and the 10 hitch, but what's like a 9-horse hitch?
The problem is they keep using horses in these, and I don't think that we can talk about, like, bestiality on YouTube.
You know what? Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like, there's too many horses involved in all of these body things, and I don't necessarily think that I want to get demonetized today.
Fair enough.
We've had a good week on YouTube. I want to keep that going. In the scene, in the scene with Gareth Bryn later, the one with the horse is the Good Night's Ride. Going all night long.
Hot.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I literally wrote down what is a 9-horse hitch. I don't know.
Oh, it's the 9 whores itch.
Oh. Wow. Well done.
Thanks, Matter.
Well done.
That's
well
something.
Done. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all we need to say about it. I liked the innkeeper character. She was very funny.
I thought she was great because she was a practical human.
Yeah.
Who I agreed with. When she's like, what are you doing? And someone's like, meh, meh, meh. And she's like, shut up. We're spies.
But here's the thing.
We're totally spies.
Here's the thing. Keeping on with the theme of characters doing things that don't really make sense, the next chapter is Gareth Bryan being like, you know what, I really shouldn't chase Swan. Yeah, we're not going to do it. All right, boys, we're going for it.
Let's not skip over Min before we get there.
Okay, fine.
Because the end of this chapter is Min sees Swan, and Swan is like, we have to go, and that's it.
Yeah, I was like, we're not skipping Min? Okay.
Well, no, I wanted to bring this up because I was kind of like, why did we change POVs here?
No idea.
It was such a weird change of POV for...
Min had to have a POV at some point.
I guess. I was just kind of like, you really changed POVs so that Swan could have a conversation. Okay, cool.
Sure.
It jarred me a little bit when reading it because I was like, is that the end of the... Wait, what just happened? But yes, no, Gareth Bryan. Mm-hmm. Gareth Bryan and his cavalry of old men.
Yes.
Which is so tragic. Okay, because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but we know that at the end of this reading, Morghese is headed towards Bryan, and he's not going to be there.
I know.
And so it is like...
Because he's chasing Swan.
Because this whole like Gareth Bryan thing, I was like, I don't really care. But now I care a lot because now that he's not going to be there, there's this weird dramatic irony where we know that the person who could save Morghese from Raven isn't going to be there when she arrives. And that's so tragic and beautiful in such a sad way.
I know, although I am hoping that Gareth catches up with them and that they team up with Morghese. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm hoping that's what's going to happen, but I feel like it's too idealistic, So
my question is, do you think that Gareth Bryan is compelled in some way to follow Swan, or is it just, like, that she's hot?
You were like, is Swan Taviran?
I legitimately was like, well, she became Amerlin, right? Mm-hmm. She's been at the center of a lot of important things. Mm-hmm. It would be understandable for her to be Taviran.
I think he recognizes her without realizing it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of an intrinsic thing where he doesn't really get it. And I mean, I don't even really get it, but I think he recognizes her and has this almost kind of compulsion to, he's like, I need to know, like, there's something off here and I can't put my finger on it. And so I think that that's kind of why.
See, I almost wonder if it's just that he doesn't want to go home. Like, if this isn't even about Swan, ultimately, it's really
just wants to go on another adventure.
Well, and, like, not even another adventure, but, like, a last adventure. You know what I mean? Like, I think
he's gonna die?
I think... No. I don't think he is going to die, actually. I think that he's going to stick around for a long time. I think he's going to be a very important character. But I think that he is a man who doesn't know how to sit at home and run an estate. And isn't comfortable in that position. Yeah. Like, I think he's just a man who's more comfortable in the saddle on an adventure.
Yeah.
And so I think in his head, he would rather go out that way. I think he's a man who does not want to go out in bed at home. And so I think that he is using the excuse of her to be out on the road feeling like himself, right? Like, I think that there are people who, like, you become so much your job that when you're not doing your job, you don't feel like you anymore. You know, you don't really...
Yeah.
You've lost a part of yourself. And I think that he's lost a part of himself.
Yeah.
And he finds that on the road.
Using it as an excuse almost.
I think that he would use any excuse.
Yeah.
This is just a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Oath breaking is bad, right? Like, I think that,
And he thinks that she's hot. Even though she looks much younger than him.
But he's going way too far out of his way in comparison to her crimes. Like, the amount he's going to lose.
But it's just all of the things, you know? Like...
And so I think it's just, and I think that that's why the men all follow him. I think that's why there's no like, sir, maybe we shouldn't.
Because they all want to get shit done as well, you know, like.
Well, but they are all old men itching for one last.
There's one guy that's older, remember?
But without modern medicine, 40 to 50 is like 70.
I guess.
Like, that's when we usually died, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
What
happened?
FFF. Did I have a bad take?
What
I blame
happened?
Narg.
Oh, the stream was dying. Oh.
Is the stream back? It says we have excellent condition, so...
Weird. Okay, well, we dropped out for a second, but it looks like we Gucci.
All right.
We back.
It says there's no medicine, but there's healing. Yes.
Sure, yes. They
you
did
still die
talk
a lot
about,
younger
like,
than we do.
There is, like, one older guy, so I'm assuming he's the one that's, like, it's closer to 60, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm super interested in actually this whole storyline. And now that the added part of Morghese is in there as well.
It's also, the other thing I will say is that they're, the White Cloaks and how far they have spread is growing really quick. And this chapter is another one where there's no problem with the White Cloaks. But there are more the talk about how they're just kind of White Cloaks everywhere just keeps ramping up every book.
Well, and especially because Nynaeve and Elaine are in White Cloak territory. Like Perrin Nile basically
but they're
rules.
literally in their country. This I'm saying, like, in this Bryn chapter, the spread of them is growing.
There's just, like, they're very prevalent in this section. And have definitely been able to, like, spread the reach for sure. Which is terrifying.
Also, I really my favorite moment in this chapter, I think, was when Gareth, the talk around the inside of Gareth's head as he finally gets over himself a little bit and is willing to say Morghese's name.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the way Robert Jordan wrote that. I thought it was well done.
Now, I cannot remember exactly. Morghese thinks that he committed treason?
No.
Okay, yeah. I can't. I was like...
She
that was put into her head,
by
right?
Raven.
Okay, because I was like, wait a second. I feel like I don't actually quite know what happened.
Nothing happened. Raven just made her exile, like with all the other people that she exiled. Okay. He needed to get rid of the person that she loved because he's probably he probably put the hardest compulsion on her to do that over all the other exiles, because if his whole thing is compulsion and, like, emotional manipulation, then someone that she actually loves would be able to break that if they were nearby, more so than anyone else. It
just seems interesting that she's remembering other things, but is thoroughly convinced that he committed treason.
That's what I'm saying. I think Raven put the biggest compulsion on him because he is also, like, the strongest.
Yeah.
I think that when she sees Gabriel, or when she sees Gareth again and it breaks that will be the moment that all of her memories come flooding back, because he's kind of like the pillar at the center of her emotional
being. Okay, that makes sense.
Bob C, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super duper chat.
Nynaeve is your favorite female character.
I really am excited for the point when I enjoy her chapters. I'm looking forward to it.
I there have been points where that is true for me as well. It's just not right now. I don't like Nynaeve in this moment, but I'm excited. I just want her to grow up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think... my question is, do you think that by the time that Gareth gets back to Morghese, because they're going to see each other again.
Yeah.
For narrative reasons, they have to.
They have to.
Do you think he will still be in love with her? Because I think there's a chance that her love for him will break through all of her things, and she will want him back, and he will have moved on.
Nah, Swan. I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to suck, but I can see it.
Yeah, it's going to be... Okay.
Before we get out of this chapter, there is a weird moment where Morghese they talk about the border towns and how the White Tower had Morghese remove troops from the border of Mirandy. Do you think that's going to be important later?
Yes.
Well, what could it possibly mean? This happened like 10 years ago.
It's going to be relevant somehow in terms of, like, how we saw, like, it's going to be like the beginnings of something. And I don't know what that is yet, but he doesn't mention things if they're not important, and so I think we're gonna find out. Yes. Yes.
All right. So chapter 13, a small room in Sienda. This chapter is interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Nynaeve is being a pain in the ass.
Classic.
And Elaine gives it to her for the first time and is like, hey, you're being a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve kind of, like, agrees. Like, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to... her self-awareness is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's very odd.
So they meet, and this is where the chapter gets interesting. They meet a circus.
Yes. A menagerie.
And I immediately, when I yelled up the stairs, I was like, because she was ahead of me. You were, like, 5 chapters ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, Clarus, are they going to join the circus? And you went, I don't know.
Turns out, yes, they are. After Nynaeve fully insults this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, why? Like, you had no reason. Like,
I don't think that she intended to. I think she thinks the silver penny's a lot of money.
No. She was, like, smirking at him. Like, the way that she did
okay.
it, like, it literally, like, it's in the dialogue.
Okay.
She did that, like, she did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is gonna bite you in the ass later.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, it does. And I just don't understand. It was completely unnecessary. Elena's like, give this guy some money. And she's like, oh, give him money? Like, she's so upset about it. I'm like, you don't...
Yeah.
Like, that's why you are the maid and Elaine is the lady. Because you couldn't pull it off even if you wanted to. I'm sorry. But, like...
But also... It is tough because they are on the run and they're trying to remain inauspicious. You know what I mean? Like they want to cross the country without drawing too much attention to themselves. So just give them the amount of money that makes them think, oh, it was so nice that lady gave us money and they forget about you.
Exactly.
As opposed to giving them a reason to remember you.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that this is consistently my problem with these books whenever characters are on the run.
Yeah.
Is that they don't behave as if they are hiding from anybody.
Yeah.
Ever, really. Like, none of the characters ever really seem to think about their actions when they're hiding. When they're in combat, it's great. When they are, like, going after a goal directly, it's always awesome. It is whenever they're inauspicious that you're like, what are you doing? Like, do you know what your own goals are?
Yeah.
And Nynaeve is with Nynaeve here. I'm like, your goal is to not have that person remember you and tell a white cloak about you.
Yes.
Or you want them to not remember that you're on. It's just it's almost like frustrating.
Yeah, and Nynaeve has learned nothing about being an undercover agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though this is the team that Swan was like, these are our best girls to go be spies. These two.
It wasn't that these were the best girls. It was she was like, you guys are the only ones that I can trust. So I have no other choice.
And Baraz, I do appreciate the don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, she's very suspicious.
Yasmin Gazu has a good point. They consistently lose sight of the big picture.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, their own like personal petty shit always takes precedence, and I'm like, like even in the remarks that they make sometimes when they scoff or they're like rude and they nearly give themselves away. This happens all the time. I'm like, can you guys just please like...
I do appreciate everyone correcting me on my use of the word inauspicious. I mean the word inconspicuous.
Oh. Yeah.
And you're right. You are absolutely right.
I didn't even catch that.
Broda, I appreciate being like, just a quick correction, not meaning to be a jerk. You're not being a jerk. I've used the word multiple times and I'm using it wrong. I thought inauspicious meant hidden, but...
Inauspicious?
I guess it does not. It means bad. Thank you, everyone. Rock Mage. Yeah, no,
They knew. Threk is like, we got you.
Yeah, I just
wish that there was at least somebody in the book who was good at their job.
Gareth is.
Sure.
She's doing it for the wrong reasons.
Sure, Gareth, I guess, is good at his job.
I think Rand is.
Rand is doing a pretty good job.
It's really just the Nynaeve Elaine spy arc that has been where I'm like, why were you asked to do this? And why aren't you doing a good job? Like, because it's not fun to read characters being consistently bad at something and not learning.
I like, characters can make mistakes, right? Characters can make mistakes and have flaws and flounder sometimes. It just seems to be that it's all the time.
Yes, it
Right
is
now.
it is so consistent with
They
them.
are getting by on the fact that, like, when Nynaeve gets pissed, she's super powerful, or Taviran.
Well, and they're getting by because Tom and Jewelin are just saving their asses constantly.
Yeah.
But without Tom and Jewelin, Nynaeve and Elaine are literally useless. Like, they accomplish nothing outside of the fight. Obviously, Nynaeve can fight Moghedien with the power, and that's awesome. But, like, in Tenchiko, all they did was sit in a room and wait for Tom and Jewelin to bring them information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't functionally do a lot.
You know what? You're
Very
right.
well.
Moraine, good at her job.
Yeah, Moraine.
Moraine is doing whatever it takes to get the job done.
But that's why I thought that Swan, because Moraine and Swan were in this together, I thought when we got Swan doing similar things, she would also be good at it, and she isn't.
Yeah.
AP,
Yes.
thank you so much for that super chat. Can we get Nerdy to cosplay Luca for next episode? For next episode, maybe not, but eventually.
We'll do a crowdfunding goal. Get you a nice silk cape.
They did release those, not release, but they leaked those Gawain audition scenes. So I'm gonna make a Gawain audition tape.
Yes. If you are a member of the Nerd Table, you'll get to see that. Just because for legal reasons, I don't think we can release it like publicly.
Yeah. It's gonna be
It's gonna be for
where I can't get in trouble for it,
for
but I'm gonna make
patrons
that.
and members only. But yeah, David is gonna audition for Gawain.
Yeah, I'm gonna audition for Gowan just for you guys. Yeah, so they finally do get to a town, and they stop at a inn called the Light of Truth. Nothing bad could ever happen at an inn called the Light of Truth.
Absolutely not ever. That's not foreshadowing at all.
Yeah, they basically put the ring on. They're gonna go into
Nynaeve is gonna go see Egwene into Teleran Riad.
Tel Aran Riad.
I would hate having to write that out every time. Like, if I was, like, writing a book, I'd be like, I don't want to put a, like, word that long, that many times in this book. I would shorten it. I've literally, like...
If you were writing a fantasy novel, all the names would be super short.
Because, like, I just would lose my patience writing them out.
It reminds me of, there's, like, a page in The Fellowship of the Ring that when I think it's, like, right after you meet Gimli, and it's just, the whole page is just Gimli, son of Gloin, son of... And it goes through, like, nothing happens. It is literally just a description of the ancestry of Gimli, and you're reading it and you're like, why did you write this? Why?
Shocking.
And I love the Lord of the Rings books, but there are
No,
some
I know.
times where you're like, I don't need this. I don't need all of this information.
Yeah, 100%.
So Teleran Riad is a place where Nynaeve can apparently just yell for Brigitte, and she comes now.
I guess because Brigitte is always watching, right? Like, she is like, keeping her eyes peeled. Because she's also looking for the Forsaken,
there's
right?
precepts, which I don't know what they are, but apparently, like, Brigitte is breaking the laws of the Creator every time they do this.
Yep.
Don't know what that means.
I guess we'll find out what those consequences are.
But then at the end, Brigitte is like, you can't tell anyone because I may be breaking the precepts, but I don't want to break the precepts. And I was like, are there different levels of what would happen? Like, it's an interesting idea that's brought up, but it is so like beyond my ability to understand it that in that whole scene I was like, but you're currently breaking the law. And it's does God not know?
I don't know. The Creator maybe is like, you know what? It's cool this time. It's cool this time. It's necessary. Also, chat is fully making fun of me.
For what?
For, like, what my novel would sound like.
Good morning, OG. Where are you going? Good morning, Woo. I'm going to That would be your book.
No, they would have, like, cool names, but they would all have shortened nicknames. Because I'm lazy.
In other words, you're not going to write a novel at any point.
Who knows? Probably not. I'm sorry. My aunt, who is an author, is very disappointed in me right now.
I'm going to write my book one day, and no one will read it.
It's fine. Bella is not upset with Brigitte. It's fine.
Bella has been spun out, and so she doesn't see what's happening in Teleran Riad because she's a horse. But if she had spun out as a wolf, she would be able to see what happens in Teleran Riad. You know what I mean?
Maybe horses have their own Teleran.
So Gaidal, Birgitte's lover, has been spun out, which means that somewhere there's a baby that has to fight the Dark One at the final battle, and I cannot wait for the baby from Raya and the Last Dragon to be there for the final.
Oh my god. Raya and the Last Dragon, pretty good movie, except for that baby.
The baby ruined that whole movie for me.
I was thinking, the last battle would be in 5 to 8 years. So
a 5-year-old? You think what? Oh, well, actually, Anakin Skywalker blows up the droid ship at
he's
9.
So yeah, that's fine.
Bella broke the precepts and now she's a horse.
That was her punishment.
So Brigitte has been spying on the Forsaken or the Chosen.
Right, the Chosen. Sorry.
In Teleran Riyadh, which is, I want that book.
Yeah.
The hero of ages past spy. I want more Brigitte point of view chapters because this sounds really cool.
I know, right?
But she says that Lanfear Ravin, Samael, Graendal, Daimandred. I'm so dyslexic. This is hurting my head so much.
So sorry.
Just their names in a line.
They're all long names, right? If you when I take notes, I shorten all those names.
Oh yeah. It's why I kept saying Nin, but it sounded too much like
Min.
Min, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And Semerhage.
Mogadeen. Who has time to write all that out? I'm sorry. Too long.
He wrote 4 million words in this book, and you think that he complained about how long words were?
No, I'm just saying I would.
That's so funny.
I would.
We haven't met Demandred and
no.
Semerhage, right?
No,
but Semerhage is the one that apparently Brigitte is like, I don't fuck with Semerhage.
I know, which is terrifying. So it makes me feel like almost maybe we have met her, or there has been a brush in passing, and she's just so dangerous that we haven't leveled up enough.
I don't know. I feel like Semerhage might be the one who's with the Sanchin. I feel like there's a Forsaken across the sea. And so Semerhage might be the one who's across the sea.
Right.
And so it should be a big bad later.
I'm sure there's at least one. So yeah, that would actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She asked Brigitte if she's seen Brother Tarwin's Gap too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that super duper chat.
To troll nerdy would be to troll Gawain. Worlds are colliding. I need this. Somebody fetch my balefire stick. Or just a good bundle of fire or my quarterstaff. You have a lot of interesting weapons, Brother Tarwin's Gap too.
I'm here for it. I think it's we talked a lot about the quarterstaff and the fireworks.
Semerhog?
What?
Or Semirage?
Semirog? Semirog? What?
Semirag? Okay, you guys are all giving different things, so I'm gonna keep saying Semerhage because I think it sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mogideon has not been seen, but even Brigitte is like, I might have missed her. Mogideon can she's sneaky.
She's sneaky, yeah.
They call her the spider for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nynaeve starts. So Brigitte is like, I'm out. And Nynaeve's like, cool. Keep spying for me in the dream world.
But I won't tell anyone, I promise.
Yeah. And then Nynaeve is like, well, if they're not here yet, I might as well just go dress shopping.
And this is what I mean. This part, actually, bothered me.
It bothered me because I was like, Nynaeve, you know that the girls who you don't want to see you trying dresses on are coming at any moment, and you're not going to know when they arrive. So why are you doing this right now?
Yeah, and you're so, embarrassed about, I mean, I don't know. I guess she thinks that, the dresses are super slutty or whatever. But, I don't know.
I found it weird because I was like, if you don't want to get caught by a Mies and Bayeux, which you clearly don't.
Yeah. This is not the time.
Do it in the place they're going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
was weird. It was just it was literally a section just to be yeah, Nynaeve's super shallow and judgmental.
But not when she does it.
But not when she, yeah. Ooh, and Nynaeve's look at this, sexy dress that I put on. But if anyone else wears it, that's so bad.
But if I wear it for Lan, it's not bad.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
So Egwene shows up, and Nynaeve was like, the Nynaeve informs Egwene that the Amerlin seat might, or basically, like, they had a weird encounter about the Amerlin seat wanting them back.
Yes.
And so Egwene should be careful.
Yes.
And Nynaeve claims this gets super strange because Nynaeve basically says that she like smelled the tea and knew that it was fork root, and so she didn't drink it, but they were almost caught.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I've never lied to Nynaeve before, or to Egwene before.
Yeah.
That can't possibly be true, right?
I don't know.
Anyone who's ever helped raise a child, if you've ever babysat, if you've ever changed someone's diapers, which is weird because Nynaeve would have been like 5, she's like, I changed her diapers. And I was like, did you?
She would have been like 6. I changed my brother's diapers.
Yeah, but your brother...
Yeah.
Not a girl who lives in town changed...
Yeah, I guess. Maybe
you don't have the 6-year-old come over and change your baby's diaper.
Maybe she babysat and they were family friends. I don't know.
If she was like 9 years older, I think I would buy it more.
Fair.
But 5 or 6, because I think she's only 5 years older. So
she's
5 or 6 is
7 years older because she's 25 and Egwene is 18 at one point.
Okay, 7. Okay, we're getting to where I buy it.
Yeah.
But so Nynaeve.
Samaraj is actually pronounced Glenda.
So Nynaeve is so aware of the fact that she lied in such a small way, like in a way that's so that she basically like loses all sense of herself for like a half hour.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I was like, I don't understand really who Nynaeve is in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's supposed to be like a setup for growth in a weird way, but and spoiler alert, but like this is my low.
Yeah.
By far. This is probably my least favorite part of the whole series. Is this like weird like
worse than Elaine flirting with her mom's ex-boyfriend who is twice her mom's age.
You know what? I also hate that. That's tough. But like this section was so weird for me to read because then like Nynaeve is all weird around Egwene, and Egwene is like, you lied to me, I'm gonna make you drink this tea, as if she's trying to teach her a lesson. And I'm like, that's not how like people interact with one another unless they're like, unless it's your parent who's literally like 25 years older than you. It was so weird. It didn't make sense to me at all. I felt like I was reading characters I didn't know, if that makes sense. It was very strange.
People are saying that Tom is not twice Margise's age, but
doesn't she
Elaine literally says he was twice my mom's age.
Yeah. No,
like, that's literally a line in the book.
Morgase talks about it.
Morgase says it. Yeah, in the Morgase chapter, she literally says that Tom was twice her age.
I think it was like almost twice her age or something.
Oh, sure, but
like, you know, she was probably 25 and he's like 40.
Samantha A actually has a really good point here. Nynaeve is starting to have a little bit of an existential crisis. I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, it was just I didn't like it, and maybe I'll be glad later that I didn't like it and it made me uncomfortable. But just being in the middle of it, I was like, don't like it.
Dryden the Force, thank you so much
for
for bringing some love from the Star Wars ether.
Oh my gosh.
And you have a wonderful day as well.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
C-Sting says at the time they first got together, he was 40 to her 20. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Which would mean that he's 60 and Elaine is 20. That's a weird age gap.
It is very weird.
That is a pretty big gap.
That is very strange. Yeah.
Raven is more than twice Margase's age. Raven is 3,000.
Yes.
At least.
And also, that is not consensual. So...
There it is.
And, like...
There it is.
Very different. Very different.
Yeah, Nynaeve really... In honestly, this whole section, Nynaeve is very strange to me right now, because I don't really know what she wants.
Yeah.
They need to get her out of this situation.
Yeah.
I don't think that the storyline that Nynaeve is in right now benefits her character very well.
You know what? I might counter that. I think that maybe this is the beginnings of Nynaeve actually becoming somebody that I like and can relate to while I'm reading it. Because I hated this. This felt like the lowest of the low in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping that's going to be like a spring pad, and that the more Nynaeve that we're going to get, it's going to be like the actual like start of her growth.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I agree with that.
I am optimistic about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, this section was uncomfy, and I didn't like how Egwene or Nynaeve behaved in it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have this weird interaction where Nynaeve lies to Egwene so that she appears a certain way in front of whichever wise one is there. Melaine. Because they don't like one another. Because Nynaeve can't get along with anyone she doesn't understand or have control over.
Yeah.
Actually, can Nynaeve get along with anybody?
Lan.
Do they get along? Or are they that weird couple that just like bickers all the time?
They've never seen them bicker. They don't fight.
Well, no. The only time we've really seen them together is when he like forcefully kisses her because she's like getting all mad.
Yeah, the problem with the Lan and Nynaeve thing is that they have no shared perspective on the world.
No, and
like
they're so far apart at this point
even if you take his age out of it, which he is like twice her age,
yeah.
He has so
Maybe not
much
twice
knowledge
her
and
age.
perspective.
I don't think he's 50.
Well, he's known Moiraine for 20 years. He was
Yeah.
already a warrior fighting in the Blight at that point. So
I figured he was like between 35 and 40, and she's like 25 or 27.
Okay. Yeah.
at this
Okay.
point.
So not twice her age, but definitely, there's a gap there.
Sure.
But-
They have different lived experiences.
But she's lived in a small town her whole life and can barely mentally get out of that. And he has seen literally everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they come to the world from two completely different points of view.
Yeah. I'm hoping that when we get Lan and Nynaeve back together, that we see what he sees in her, and like he brings out more positive in her.
C. Sarmi says Elaine and
Over
Nynaeve
40.
get along really well.
Elaine and Nynaeve?
I don't think they do.
They fight all the time.
And about nothing.
Yeah, we literally in the previous chapter, Elaine is like, "You're being a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you suck right now."
Melaine basically scolds Nynaeve for spending time in Tel'aran'rhiod, right?
Yes.
Because Nynaeve lies and says that she's been the one stalking the Forsaken in the dream world because she doesn't want to break her promise to Birgitte.
Yes, and then the wise one is like, "Hey, maybe don't do that. You don't understand anything about Tel'aran'rhiod, and you're spying on the most powerful people in the world."
So what does Nynaeve do?
So Nynaeve is like, "Haha, fuck you," and goes and does exactly what she's not supposed to.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, she just is like, all right, bye, I'm gonna keep hanging out in Tel'aran'rhiod, and there's nothing you can do about it. So Melaine dresses her like a child again.
Yeah.
Which in its description is like weirdly like a schoolgirl outfit.
With the pigtails
And the short skirt.
skirt.
And I'm just kind of like, Robert Jordan.
Robert Jordan, what you doing there?
What are you doing in your dream world, Robert Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Got a little kink there, Mr. Jordan?
Shocking.
No, we all know Robert Jordan's kink is women who fold their arms under their breasts and go.
Yes, that is confirmed.
Confirmed.
And also polyamory.
Next year at JordanCon, I will be hosting a fold arms under breasts and sniff competition.
Fold arms under breasts and sniff competition.
Yeah.
Just the like.
No, but it's definitely the like. It's the like huffing sniff. Yeah, that. You might win.
I hate that.
If you practice, if you put in the time, get a trainer, you might win.
I don't got the goods for that, you know. They're there, but they're not significant enough to get that like bounce going, you know. That like lift that some girls can do. I don't got that. So
the post sniff jiggle, if you will.
That's the t-shirt. The post sniff jiggle.
But nothing else.
No
just
context.
The post sniff jiggle.
No context.
White text, black shirt.
At all. If you know, you know, and that's it. There's only 5 t-shirts. It's a limited run.
And I own all 5 of them. That's so funny. The post sniff jiggle. I want to write a song now called the post sniff jiggle.
We'll do that for the song competition next year.
Yeah, we'll rewrite the lyrics to Boot, Scoot, and Boogie to the post sniff jiggle.
And it's just about women folding their arms underneath of their breasts. And necklines.
We take every time Robert Jordan does it in the books and we use his exact wording of it as the lyrics for the song.
Yes. Oh my god.
Tithonus asked what was nerdy wrong about today. It was my use of the word inauspicious.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant, and I used it to sound smart, and I looked like an idiot. So Nynaeve goes to the tower.
Yeah.
And we're still with Nynaeve in Teleran Riad.
She can't get in the Amerlin's room.
Yeah.
Which is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of wards, even if those wards are from...
No, they explain why she can't get in.
They do?
Yeah, because when she finally does get there, there's no ward on it. When she gets there, the reason is that it doesn't
look the same.
Because in order to go somewhere, you have to picture it.
Right.
And so she can't picture it because it's not the same room anymore.
When she can't immediately, I was like, oh, someone in the past 1,000 years put wards on that room that no one understands nowadays. But that makes sense.
Steak, thank you for that super chat. What channel will you be doing new streams on? All streams will be on this channel.
This one right here.
That's pretty inauspicious of you. Thank you, Philip. Yes. So she can't get in because the room has changed so much that it is no longer, even though she knows the physical location of it, she doesn't really know the room anymore. Yeah. Which I think is actually a really cool idea, and I love that concept.
Yeah. You're right, and now I'm remembering it, but it's like, it would also make sense that someone had warded that room at some point in history, but never mind.
So as she goes back to her room, her accepted room, and she makes her way to the Amerlin's room, and as she gets there, Aleda appears in front of her and chastises her. And it's not really... Aleda has touched the dream world, but can't really stay there. She doesn't really know what's going on. And so she disappears, and Nynaeve is like, this must be one of her fondest memories. Not realizing the foreshadowing of the moment. Where it's not even a memory. This is... Or not even a dream. This is the truth. Aleda is the Amerlin seed.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve does not know that yet. But as she goes into the Amerlin room, Egwene shows up?
Yeah.
What's going on with Egwene here?
Well, I think Egwene was like, oh, I just got some information from Nynaeve. I'm gonna go check it out. I think she thinks I'd like some answers on this. And Nynaeve probably didn't listen and went to go do it herself anyways. I think both of those things are true.
So you think she is there because she thinks Nynaeve is there?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
But also because but also to get information about the Amerlin that's changed about Elaine, right? I think it is both of those reasons.
Yeah, no, I agree. So Egwene Egwene really gives it to her. Straight up lays into her.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve is being stubborn, and so Egwene summons men to physically accost Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Is that a great moment?
No, it's not.
And they or not men, they're werewolves, I guess. And they cut her up a little bit.
Yep. It's this.
Does Egwene go too far?
Under any other circumstances, I would say yeah. But also, it's Nynaeve, and I don't know if anything short of that would make an impact on her. Because Nynaeve could die there. And she doesn't seem to want to accept that. She thinks she knows exactly what she's doing without any kind of training. And so I think it's too far, but I think also it might it is too far. But I think that it also might have saved Nynaeve. And I don't know, maybe Nynaeve goes back in and doesn't learn anything, which is probably gonna happen. But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of manipulative. It's definitely abusive. I'm like, Egwene, that's why I didn't like this section, because both of them are doing weird things.
Yeah.
That's just seem I don't know. I there's it kind of has this weird parallel to, our parents all raised children in a certain way, and their parents raised them in a different way, and they learned from their parents' mistakes, and we're learning from our parents' mistakes, right? We know that spanking children, there's a lot of studies out there that are maybe not the best thing, right? Physically abusing your kids, maybe not. And it just seems like Egwene is well, somebody did this to me, so I'm gonna do it to them, and just didn't take any lesson from that.
I kind of disagree with that.
Oh, okay.
I think Egwene went way too far here.
Oh yeah, she definitely went too far.
For the simple reason that I think that I think that she could have taught Nynaeve the same lesson without physically hurting her.
Yeah.
And I also think that Egwene, I think that while Nynaeve in this situation is being cocky about her abilities into Teller and Riyadh,
Yeah.
I also think that Egwene is not fully trained yet. And I don't know
Yeah.
that she's fully in control of those two creatures that she summons, right? And so I think that Egwene puts Nynaeve in an
Maybe.
unreasonable amount of risk
Maybe, yeah.
in this situation in a way that I think it kind of makes me think that Egwene, like, has the potential to be a bad character in the end.
Egwene? Interesting.
Like, Egwene, this is the kind of situation where you are using a power that you don't fully understand or have the power over, and you're using it on someone that you say is your friend to help them.
Yeah.
And I found it kind of shocking, because then Egwene is like, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, the things that you create here can become real, right? Like, you can get stuck in something. And I was like, Egwene, what if you had lost control over those
Hopefully
two creatures?
Egwene knows what she's doing.
Right?
Like,
and so I think that in this situation, Egwene goes so far and uses a power that she doesn't fully understand or have control over in a way that makes her very in the wrong. Like, in my opinion, she way oversteps here.
yeah, and I didn't understand why, because it almost felt like Egwene was taking the abuse that she had received in her training and taking it out on Nynaeve in like a really gross kind of way. You know? It's like the kid at home who bullies other people because their parents bully them. And it was and then with the tea, like, it was all just, the tea is obviously not as far as whatever, you're gonna have to drink it, she doesn't even, but like, yeah, the weird, like, summoning things that she may or may not have full control over to, like, mark her so that when she wakes up, she knows it's real, like.
Yeah. I think I was really disappointed in Egwene in this moment. I think the tea moment is less inappropriate, because it's the thing about the tea is that it is Egwene teaching Nynaeve a lesson in the way that Nynaeve taught Egwene lessons. It's still, I still think it's a bad thing to do, and I wouldn't teach someone a lesson that way.
Yeah.
But I can understand Egwene using Nynaeve's tactics against her, because in that power exchange, you're saying, like, this is how you were comfortable teaching lessons, so learn a lesson this way, as opposed to the moment with the two creatures, which is just, it's so. Reading it, I thought that Mogideon had entered the room. Like, it was so extreme that I was like, oh, they're being attacked by a Forsaken. And if my thought is that they're being attacked by a Forsaken, it is too far for a good character to say that it is something that they did.
Yeah.
It's almost inexcusable, right? Like, it's almost it's a hard moment to come back from.
Yeah.
So much so that if Egwene were to come back and tell Bayer and Amis and Melaine what she did, I think they would lose it on her.
No, they did the same thing to her.
Attacked her with creatures?
Yeah. Literally, when they found out that Egwene was entering Tel'aran'rhiod without permission, I'm pretty sure Amis, like, summoned some horrible nightmare.
But it never touched her.
Are you sure?
It was, like, in the room with her. I don't remember it, like, attacking her or cutting her. She didn't have, like, literal scratches in her skin the next day.
I thought it was a literal reflection of that, but I would have to go back and read, because that was in the last book, I think. So I don't know, maybe chat can clarify that for me, but I'm pretty sure that the Wise Ones taught Egwene a lesson in a very similar way.
Amis transformed into a crocodile thing and, like, scared her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very different than having these masculine creatures, like, touching and, like, scratching and, like.
Right. Okay. I couldn't remember if Egwene had scratches or marks or anything. Yeah. Okay. That
there's
makes
a lot.
sense.
There's a lot in chat about this being sexual assault, and I guess I didn't read it as sexual assault. I didn't really think of that. I thought they were, like, scratching her and, like, attacking her. I didn't really read it as, like, but maybe that's just, like, maybe the way I read it was wrong.
I didn't get that either, to be honest.
And maybe the, like, implication was that it was going to head that way. They ripped her clothes off. I totally missed that they ripped her clothes off. I thought her clothes got, like, torn when they scratched her, but
yeah. I just thought that they were, like, all torn up.
I honestly think that I was a little uncomfortable, and I read through it very quickly.
That honestly is fair, though.
This section made me uncomfortable in a way that I kind of like skimmed through it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't like this. This was my low for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't even need to wait till the end of the show. They ripped off Nynaeve's blouse. Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, so
I just don't like this.
arms...
And it's like inexcusable. Like what Egwene does here is so like inexcusable. And it's tough to like
one of them ripped her dress open. The other seized her chin, twisted her face, with its mouth open, whether to kiss or bite, she did not know.
I missed the ripping the dress open. That didn't stick out to me. So yeah, no, that's sexual assault. That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very bad.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Some people in chat have been saying Egwene did it to cover her ass, and I don't understand that either.
No, Egwene tells Nynaeve that we shouldn't tell anyone about this to cover her ass. Because Egwene's not supposed to be there either.
Oh, I was like, I don't understand how that.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't like it. I don't think there's any justification for it. Like
Fudgy Vamp says this is one of the chapters we ignore exists because we can't reconcile it. And chat, without spoiling the future of the books, is there any I don't know what the right word is. Does this ever have consequences at any point, or is this never brought up again? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was Robert Jordan like, you know what, let's just forget that happened.
But this is what I mean. Like, Egwene could have taught her a lesson without touching her, without it being that far.
Well, and that's the thing is, Egwene also does not know what the hell she's doing. Like never. Cool. That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know. I don't know how to, like... I don't know how to be okay with Egwene after this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Chat seems very divided. Some people are like, there's definitely consequences, and then some people are like, it's never brought up again.
The tea gets brought up. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I hope that,
I don't like it.
I hope that at some point, some of our characters decide that, you know, the abuse of, like, the Tower teachings, the abuse of the Wise Ones teaching, the abuse of, like, teaching this power, like, I hope that somebody, like, that it comes up and that it's, like, rectified or at least, like, you know, changed for future people. Because I think that the end of this book is going to have at least, like, a kind of happy ending. Like, I think they're going to defeat the Dark One.
At the end of this book?
Not the book.
Oh,
the series.
I was like, what?
Sorry. No, at the end of the series.
And then there's 9 books of nothing.
No, and so I hope that our characters maybe learn other methods of teaching and...
interacting?
And, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know where to go from there with her, right? It's really once you've crossed that line, like, you have to go on a, like, as a character, there has to be some sort of, like, redemption tour.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why this whole section was really tough for me to read, and this was definitely the lowest of it for me. Was getting through this chapter where Nynaeve and Egwene are having this interaction, where Nynaeve is behaving so like, I lied this little lie, and so now I'm a terrible person, and Egwene now has power over me because I fibbed a little bit, and then Egwene goes so far. It's just, it sucked to read. And it's in a series that I loved so much through the first 4 books. This week was like, it wasn't what I wanted from my fantasy series.
Well, and especially from Egwene, who we talked about in book 1, how we really loved that, like, she took the agency, right? Like, she, like, there were so many wonderful things that we loved about Egwene in earlier books, and this is just weird. Samantha A., thank you for that super duper chat.
This is one of those things, like Fael beating up Perrin, that have more to do with RJ, a short-sighted male writer, than character growth. Fans just ignore it for the most part. It's kind of tough to ignore this one.
Yeah, it's a whole...
I guess...
It's a whole scene as opposed to the Fael and Perrin thing.
Which cuts away. It's like one awkward punch. This is that moment taken to the extreme.
Yeah. No, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyways, I think
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about it.
We can move on from it. But
was weird.
Nynaeve and Egwene do find out that Aleida is the Amerlin seat.
Yes.
And that Siuan has been... They don't know that she's been executed yet. They do find that out later. But right now, they just know that Siuan has been deposed. And the fan base did cancel Egwene for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's really shitty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
this not in the show.
No.
I don't know what they replace it with, but this is not in the show. There's there's literally no way.
No.
If they were to put this in the show, it would go over just as bad as the Theon Sansa Ramsay scene from the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
tournament.
no, bad idea. Let's we're just gonna not with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only other thing I think that's at the end of this chapter is that Egwene obviously
wakes up.
Moraine goes to see Rand.
Well,
Rand
but she wakes up and the
busy.
Wise Ones didn't catch her, so she got away with it this time.
Yeah. She goes to see Rand. Rand is busy with Jason Derulo, and so Egwene goes to let Moraine know, and she gives her this information. Moraine's just kind of like whatever, and Moraine is like, I would rather the tower stay united than it be broken up like this, which is hard. It's Moraine does believe in the tower and what it stands for, and the Aes Sedai in a lot of ways, and she's more upset about the fact that the tower is divided than the fact that like Siuan is gone and stilled and there's a new Emerlin, which was very interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I also think that Egwene not wanting to tell Rand because she's worried Rand will ask questions was very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, she's less worried about Moraine interrogating her than she is Rand interrogating her because of how oddly he's been behaving lately.
Yes.
Very interesting to see.
Yeah.
And also, I liked the admission between Egwene and Moraine that they both know that Lanfear has visited Rand, and they're the kind of like unspoken, like, she's probably come more than the one time that we know about. And like, we as the audience know, Lanfear shows up like every 3 days. Like, Lanfear just kind of hangs out sometimes. But Moraine and Egwene are like kind of aware of it and do not like it.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I wonder. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I think Moraine's practicality here is really fun to read. And it makes Moraine such a fascinating character that she's like, my whole life, I have been preparing to stop the Dark One from destroying the Earth. Siuan being deposed sucks.
Yeah.
But we have a bigger problem.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of it. And I think that, like, Moraine in a lot of ways reminds me of Princess Leia. Where, like, the moment where Alderaan has just been destroyed in A New Hope, and they get off of the Death Star, and Ben has just died, and Leia is in full-on general mode, and Luke is moping at the table, rightfully so. I'm not like saying he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Ben died, but like they're in the middle of this very important situation, and Leia puts the blanket on Luke, and that takes care of that.
Yeah.
Because she has stuff that needs to get done.
Yeah.
And Moraine has that same quality about her in a way that I really like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Moraine is big picture and big picture only, and I still think that that's what's one of the most interesting moments is when she finally she swears an oath to Rand, because she's like, it doesn't matter, like, I will do whatever it takes, but this is what I believe in so wholeheartedly, and I love that.
This scene in the show, because they've explicitly shown the sexual relationship between Moraine and Siuan, is going to hit like a brick.
Yeah.
This one's gonna hurt because Rosamund Pike is gonna crush it because she is so good.
Yeah.
But when this scene happens and you see, like, you're gonna see it in her eyes and nowhere else, and it's gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait for that moment.
Yeah. It's that one's gonna sting a little.
How do you think the show's gonna handle the Aes Sedai agelessness thing?
I don't.
Do you think they'll just skip it?
They
or
already
will they
have
like de-age Siuan?
No. They already have like Hollywood actors, right? They already look perfect, even though they look like they have.
I know, but when
Siuan
is stilled, Do you think that they're going to like de-age her face somehow?
No.
Okay, so they're just gonna skip all of that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna care about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, how old is J-Lo? J-Lo looks like a goddamn Aes Sedai. Like...
Dragon Snack says, I always pictured Wanda Sykes as Moiraine. That would be... I would watch that show in a heartbeat. Wanda Sykes is a very talented and famous black comedian and actress. I'm trying to think of something that you would have seen her in. She's
watched nothing.
Amazing.
All right, cool.
But I do think that she would have crushed it. But she might have been too funny almost.
Too funny. Yeah,
well,
I think
for
it's just gonna
Moiraine,
look.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna look the way that.
I think Wanda Sykes would be amazing as a Mies. or by ear. Honestly, any of the like wise women.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Wanda Sykes would be freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for that chapter.
Well, I also we do learn Moiraine has been eavesdropping on Rand with her little thing. Tuvok!
Oh my god, thank you for that super chat.
Whoa! The menagerie section of this book always feels like it dragged too long for my liking, even on rereads, but there's other banger moments in this book. See you guys next week.
We're gonna have more circus to read. Great. I love it for us.
Thank you so much for that. That's incredibly kind.
Oh no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. No.
Yeah, but no, so Moiraine is so do you think Moiraine knows that Jason Natil can channel? If she's eavesdropping on them talking about channeling, or do you think Rand knows that she's listening?
Well, Rand sets up certain wards. Mm-hmm. I wonder if maybe, he just has wards that stop eavesdropping. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it would be very interesting if Moiraine did know. And then it comes out somehow, and Moiraine is like, yeah, I know. Like, I knew this whole time.
That Rand has been learning from the Forsaken? She is practical enough that I think that she would be the character who would be like, if it's gotta happen, it's gotta happen.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Chapter 16.
We run into a fan favorite.
Yeah, so Galad is a white cloak.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how much further, so you were spoiled on Galad's story. How much more further, like...
That's it. I knew he was white cloak.
This is the thing that you knew.
Yeah, I knew
that
he
I
was
curious because I knew that you knew something about his future, and I was wondering if this was it.
Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't that bad a spoiler.
No, it really wasn't, especially because it was foreshadowed.
Yeah, I was not surprised at all.
Yeah. You're like, oh, Galad's a white cloak. Yeah.
I was surprised at how far away from the tower he's gotten.
Yeah, he's been busy boy.
It seems like he's, like, because he joined in Tarvalon, and I was like, oh, he got shipped out. They were like, all right, you want to join up? Great. We're going to immediately send you, like, a month's ride away.
Yeah. And then Nynaeva's like, God damn, he's so hot. I'm like...
Oh my god.
I can't.
I have stood 6 inches away from Chris Hemsworth. And he's... And even... It was the most disconcerted I've ever been looking at another man.
But even still, you weren't like...
I was okay.
Like, I can't see straight. Like, literally, Nynaeve is sitting there full, like, a Hagao face, like, eyes crossed, drooling. And I was like, are you... Like, that is exactly what I pictured this whole... If this was an anime... That is exactly what would have happened in this moment. I was like, Nynaeve, get it fucking together. Like,
honestly, if you were gonna adapt Wheel of Time properly, anime would be the best way to do it. Because anime combat would be, I think, the best way to live up to the way the One Power is used.
Yeah.
And like the Baalzamon Rand Sky battle over Falma in an anime style would be incredible.
That would be dope.
Oh my god, give me that, like, Attack on Titan style.
Yeah.
But Wheel of Time, I think you could crush it.
Yeah.
Nynaeve is literally, like, so turned on by just Galad's face.
Yeah.
Like, his face is so hot,
like,
she doesn't realize he's a white cloak.
I know. I'm like, literally, how? Like, this scene reminded me of when Holly showed us the, like, Food Wars thing. And all the animated girls are like, ah! And you're like... What is it? you know, it's anime because it's exaggerated, but reading this, I was like, this is so unrealistic. I'm sorry. Like
this moment in that anime would be so funny because Nynaeve's eyes would become like big hearts and they'd like pop out of her face.
Yeah, exactly. Galad is hot is basically the summary of this chapter.
But also, Elaine knows him. This was my favorite Elaine moment, I think, so far in all the books, was Elaine going, we have to leave.
Immediately. And everyone's like, oh, no, it's your brother. And she's like, no, you do not
psyche.
understand.
Yeah.
Like...
She literally, like, opens his brain, pulls him out as a person, and presents him to the world with a mirror. It's incredible how... well, Robert Jordan writes her in this
Which
moment.
is what she's kind of been saying the whole time, right? Like, I've always felt like Elaine was super cold towards Galad, and I thought it was, like, more of, like, a sibling rivalry, like, half-sibling kind of thing. And no, she understands exactly who he is and what he's gonna do.
Cinnabar says, I would like it in the same style as Netflix's Castlevania show. I would like less gore than that. I think that style's too gory for Wheel of Time, but yes.
That would be rad, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Huarian says arcane style. That
would also be cool.
No, arcane style really lends itself to the bright colors of the technology. You would want an anime style that isn't so heavily reliant on like those bright greens and purples. You would want something that can play better with whites and blacks because of how important like the white cloaks and the dark one. Like I think that's why I would go with like Attack on Titan or something that has a little bit more of like a muted palette. Castlevania I think does a good job of that as well. Yeah. I think the arcane art style I think would look too dull in Wheel of Time, so they would play up the color, and then I think that you would lose kind of the drabness of some of the areas.
Arcane has more of like a steampunk vibe in a sense, which I don't think. Yeah.
Rock Mage says hentai style.
Come on. There's already plenty of rods everywhere.
Yeah. It's hard not to make the Oath Rod look like a cock. I just want that on a shirt, and then just Rosamund Pike. I think I might make that shirt.
She's wonderful. Yeah.
And I'll wear it to Pride on Sunday.
Yeah, if we can get it in time.
So Elaine is basically like, look, Galad always does the right thing. He's either going to force me back to Camelin or he's going to turn me in. And if we fight going back to Camelin, he's going to make the second option. Like, she literally figures him out in a second. Yeah. She is so fast on this because she's known him her whole life. Mm-hmm. And she's right? Yeah. Like, she absolutely is correct. And I think that she is... I just love this moment. I really, really did. It showed how smart she is.
Literally everybody is like, no, it's your brother. And she's like... You don't. No, you do. You do not understand. So they decide to use the menagerie to escape.
Yeah. So they join the circus.
They go and they join the circus.
This storyline makes me nervous. This feels the most like an anime. This is the beach episode of the Wheel of Time. I can already feel it coming.
The beach episode.
Like I can feel the like filler coming. I hope to God they're done with the circus by the end of the book. I hope this is not a like multi-book. As much as I think Val and Luca might end up being a really cool character, and it's so cool that Eludra's there, right? And so like this Eludra character just keeps popping up through these books, and I'm excited to see her art.
As soon as he was like, we even have an Illuminator, I was like,
yeah. I'm so curious about Eludra. I don't love the idea of circus stuff in a book.
A lot of people are saying that you're their fan cast for Luca.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I would. The overly extravagant. Come on in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love it. I actually played a character like that in a musical for years.
Shocked.
We workshopped this musical about Hart Island. It's too dark to talk about on the podcast, but I was the like ringleader circus master of this Circus of the Dead, and we worked on it for it was such a good show. We worked on it for years, and it just never ended up going anywhere. But
basically, the rest of the books are all circus tales. I will quit. I will quit.
I did like the boar horse though.
The boar horse, yeah. That's actually an elephant. But that's actually something else.
Well, and it's like the Sraggit, or I can't even remember what the word is.
But
they're like, no, it was easier to call it a boar horse. And I was, as a dyslexic person, calling something a boar horse is very hard.
Yeah, you're like, no.
Maybe for regular people, that's an easy word to say, but boar horse, It's annoying in my mouth. Boar horse is annoying in my mouth.
Berserker, yes. So.
Oh, do I have the calves for it? Thank you.
So the other part that we learned.
Shred it. That's it. Yeah.
Shred it. Yeah. Okay. Is that Elaine does remember who Tom is. And tells
the
Nynaeve
memories
about
came
it.
back when the second time she pulls his.
Well, but remember, because she was like kind of drunk, and then it was a little.
Oh, and
bit...
she's been lying to Tom. I did like that. She's been lying to Tom about not remembering that night, but she does remember that night.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
No, I mean, I just hate the whole flirting with Tom. But we've already talked about that, so we're gonna.
I do appreciate at least that the book explains what it is in Tom that she is attracted to. You know what I mean? Like I was if we're going down this road, which clearly we are,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that the book explains why she's not flirting with Jewel in the way she is with Tom, and that she is attracted to how intelligent he is.
Yeah.
And like it almost isn't like physical, right? Like what she's attracted to is this intelligent and like capable man, and like
yeah.
I can at least understand it even if I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 9 boar horse hitch.
Yeah, so Galad is a white cloak. That's gonna be really interesting, I think, for Morghese, more so than Elaine.
Yeah.
Because of what's going on in Andor. Like Galad being a white cloak, as much as I'm like, oh, Galad, I think that like the possibilities in terms of storytelling moving forward with this are really good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
So they sneak out. The next chapter is literally just them joining the circus. But they run into Sarandon, who is a Sanchin Shreddit handler.
Shreddit handler, yes.
Yeah.
I love that Elaine uses the one power to pretend to be able to tightrope walk, like does cartwheels and stuff. I was like, wow, okay.
How exactly does that work?
Well, you just make the rope thicker with air so that it's basically a wider platform and you walk on it normally.
So Elaine was previously capable of doing cartwheels?
Oh, I mean...
in such a straight line? Look, I've taken gymnastics in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I have a decent cartwheel.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a cartwheel to be perfectly straight is actually really hard. It is. Straight enough that your feet look like they land on the tightrope.
I did cartwheels on beams, so...
Sure. But we trained as dancers. We literally had the training to do that. We went to gymnastics classes to do that. Elaine goes, all right, I'm going to go do this. And then she uses the power. Does the power keep her feet on the rope? Or does the power make the rope a wider? Because people would look up and go, her feet are just standing on air.
No. You can't see it standing on air.
But it was very strange to me that she was like, oh, I can do that. And then went and did it. And I was like, when did you learn how to cartwheel in a straight line?
I mean, when you're like the princess, you have fun, I guess.
And then she goes, and Llewellyn can do it too. And he's like,
Llewellyn's like, no,
I guess.
no, dear God, no.
But doesn't tell them, like, if Llewellyn's trust in Elaine in that moment is insane. Because why would he do They're like, this guy just died, and Elaine's like, Llewellyn can go up on the tie rope.
Yeah, this guy just died. Oh my God.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, terrifying, I guess. But it was
entertaining, but in the moment I was like,
I just imagine honestly that Elaine is like using weaves of air to like, if she like tilts off balance, she's like literally manipulating the air around her.
Oh, it made it seem like she just like had like air on either side of the rope.
Well, she does, because she says her skirts like kind of touched like a
How is she
and
doing
then
that with
back
skirts
up.
on?
That is a talent.
Like, Julian actually has incredible balance. That's true. Roger says the Wonder Girls can do anything. Who are the Wonder Girls?
The Wonder Girls are Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine.
Okay.
It's like when Matt suddenly is a master quarterstaff artist. Apparently, Morghese was a tightrope walker. Master tightrope walker, and Morgase, and then Matt, his dad was a quarterstaff master, so
That's true.
it's you pick up these skills apparently.
Yeah, I also I did appreciate that Tom can juggle 12 stones in 2 circles, and I was like
that like intertwine. I was like,
yeah,
how?
that I would like to see.
Please, how?
That I would like to see.
Like I've watched a couple of jugglers, and I don't think any of them have ever made like 12 things into 2 circles. It's yeah. Mm-hmm.
William Reese says, "Nerdy, you focus on the weirdest shit." I do. To be honest, I don't know why anyone watches this show, because it's just me complaining. It's me nitpicking like weird things that I'm like, what?
No, that is not this show. It's.
Well, no, you bring quality to this. I just bring nonsense.
That is not true.
The Nerdy Wordy Book Club. Clara brings quality.
Ninja Warrior.
That is the filler episode of the Wheel of Time anime.
Not the beach episode.
Is when everyone competes in Andor Ninja Warrior.
Oh my god.
I'd watch it.
Oh my god, I love that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, it is funny. Elaine,
I love Elaine and Matt took interesting feats at character creation.
Oh, they got their level 4 feat. And so...
Oh, Matrick, I'm not saying that it's impossible to juggle 12 stones. I'm saying I want to see it. That sounds very cool.
Yes. I'm like,
yeah.
that is insane. And it makes sense. Look, Tom is the best. We know Tom is the best. I believe he can do it. I'm like, how? Like, my brain can't imagine it.
Yeah,
like...
I can barely juggle 3 things. The idea of juggling 12 things in 2 interconnected circles just breaks my brain. Yeah. Like, that to me is, like, nerdy nonsense confirmed. Yeah, no, when she was like, and then she just started doing cartwheels, it just was one of those moments where I was like, all right. I felt like I need to see it to understand what was happening. Yeah. Because the description of it, I was like, okay.
I have a feeling this part also won't be in the show. The animals will be too expensive, and the tightrope walking. Yeah, the circus is probably gonna be cut.
Or the show will just cut to the circus scenes from Madagascar 3. And they'll just, like, interconnect it. But they'll CGI Elaine into Madagascar 3. It'll be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
In the next book, Tom switches out the stones for chainsaws. Great. I want to see that. I want to see that.
I have no problem with it. I ultimately, it's magic. Like, I don't care. It was just funny to me that she just, like, starts doing cartwheels and then throws Jewelin up there. Like, I was like, Elaine, like...
Nynaeve is like, no. And she's like, so, Jewelin.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Dead Iron.
But you brought this up last night. Mm-hmm. If they do this anywhere where here's the real problem with Elaine doing this. They are trying to not get caught and sent back to the Tower of Aes Sedai. And so if any Aes Sedai watches their show, they're going to get caught because they're going to see that they're channeling. Well,
they're going to see, but they can also feel the channeling, depending on how powerful they are and how much they're channeling. Like, look, I don't know how
the circus will perform outside of town.
No, but like, here's the thing: I don't know how thick the weaves are for this rope. Like, I don't know the like nitpicky of that. But we know that Moghedien found them in the city because they channeled, and they're like, they don't know, they could run into Black Aja or other Aes Sedai. And I have no idea how strong these weaves are, or they don't know how powerful they are to be able to sense it. Like, I was like, they're thick weaves. It seems like a terrible idea. They should have just stuck to the cleaning.
Yeah.
The cleaning and the mucking or whatever. It's much safer that way. Y'all are screwed.
Well, and this is my point about them being bad spies.
Yeah.
Is that Elena's like, oh, okay, I'm going to do the flashiest thing possible. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you're spies. You're spies.
Yeah.
And people want to kill you. Like, they're not behaving as if everybody wants to kill them.
Yeah. I'm not saying the Aes Sedai are going to the circus, but if the Aes Sedai are in town...
Why wouldn't the Aes Sedai go to the circus?
I mean, look,
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know, but...
If they're like the Lord and... If the Lord and Lady of the local place are going to the circus, and they have an Aes Sedai counselor, the Aes Sedai counselor is going to go with them. Right? Like, but seriously, like, the idea that you would assume that the Aes Sedai aren't going to the circus is crazy to me. And so why would you do the flashy thing with that? Literally, like, you're lighting yourself up like a beacon.
I don't know. Yeah.
You're becoming nightlight. You know what I mean? Like, it's not great.
Yeah, it just
Samantha A has distilled it down to the right sentence. They can sense channeling, so they should not be channeling.
Yeah. I would not risk it, especially because you know that's how Moghedien found you.
Dragazak says Elaine is a spy like Sterling Archer. Yes.
Faye, thank you so much for that super chat.
I'm 90 minutes behind, but I want to say hi. This is what I call the destruction of Nineen book. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on her journey.
You'll get there. Once you are at this point in 90 minutes, you'll get there. You'll know.
I like Sarandon. I also like that because of their experience with Aegyanin, they are not as harsh with the Sanchin as they would have been.
Yes.
So like that's character growth, I guess. A little bit.
Yeah, it just seems odd that they're risking channeling so often and so open.
Yes.
So that's all. Yeah.
Nemsy says they're hiding in plain sight. They are lighting up like a firework in plain sight, but yeah.
Yes.
In the witch hunter capital. That's true. While they're in Amadika, they're fine, but their plan is to ride this. They're in Amadika right now, but the plan is to take the circus to Tyr. Like they're gonna cross multiple countries that aren't witch hunter territories. So it just.
Well, but also like this spy network seems to be super vast. It makes sense that there might be Aes Sedai around anyways.
Mm-hmm. Next chapter is you know what? Before we get into the next chapter, we never brought it up at the beginning of the podcast like we're supposed to.
Oh.
So it's time because we're like at the middle. We're a little past the middle here.
We are 2 hours in.
It's a good point to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is a place where you can listen to other people read books because you are lazy.
Yeah. Audible, a place where people with ADHD who need 7 things to focus on can have a book being read to them while they have their 3 monitors and 17 browsers up at the same time.
Do you find that you need oral stimuli that you don't want to really pay attention to?
Oral?
Yeah, AURAL. So there's 2 kinds of oral, right? There's mouth oral, and then there's ear oral.
I thought it was like auditory.
Yeah, that's oral. Stimuli is auditories. Auditory stimuli and oral stimuli, but if it's spelled AUR.
Audible, brought to you by Oral Stimuli. Wow. You're welcome, Amazon.
Do you need oral stimuli? Try audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. Audible will orally stimulate you for a full month. You get a free book on us.
Oh my god. Wow,
There is no way Amazon is gonna let us keep doing this.
No, Amazon's gonna be like, we're canceling your link.
The thing is, people are signing up. So like clearly our way of we've made a little bit of money off of this whole like you sign up, we get paid deal.
Yeah.
So like clearly the way that we're doing this is working, Amazon.
Yeah, people are into
people want
oral stimuli. Give the people their oral stimuli. Oh my god. That wow. Audible blows.
Albino, I'm not saying Audible blows. I'm saying that Audible is a service that allows you to download audiobooks and listen to them and keep them all in one place. You get a free book every month that you are a member, and Audible is just where all the audiobooks are. So if you like audiobooks, it's you kind of got to be there.
Yes.
And they provide you with oral stimuli. So
wow. Anyways.
audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. Don't forget to click that link and go there and get yourself a free book on us.
Yeah. Smash that like button. Anyways, yeah.
The Fires of Heaven, chapter 18.
So, okay, is there anything you wanted to talk about the Sanchin? Because I didn't really feel like there was much, except that she, like, throws herself at Elaine's feet when she realizes she's actually, like, a noble. Which is very strange. Because that happened. She was behaving like the Sancha behaved. Yeah, okay.
We're gonna learn more about them later, so maybe
like,
that'll be the fun part of the circus stuff is learning more about the Sanchin.
I hope so.
Joe Cross, thank you for $20 super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
You didn't ask a question or say anything with it, so thank you.
Thank you.
I never know what to do. Like super chats feel like they're about like us responding to something, and I'm like,
Yay.
Audible, where Nerdy might learn how to pronounce character names in the Wheel of Time. Do you not know how to pronounce names in the Wheel of Time? Try Audible, trial.com/nerdynightly.
Nah, it's more fun when we make it up.
Yeah.
And soon
but Joe Cross, thank you so much.
we're just gonna like infiltrate. So like you guys will start saying our pronunciations as jokes, and then they'll become canon.
Well, people say it's Gareth Bryn, but I think that sounds lame. Gareth Brine.
Bryn is
Brine makes him sound like he's a pickle.
Yeah.
And I like pickles. Happy
Chapter
Pride, everybody.
18. Oh my god.
Leandrin goes to Joran Erin's house.
Yes. And guess who's there?
Mogadien.
The one that's just I don't want to spell out, so I put Mo when I write notes. It's just Mo.
I really want Mo from The Simpsons to play Mogadien on the show.
I was thinking Mo
Homer.
From Atlantis, but
yeah, that's a good pull too.
They're very different.
That's a good pull too. This was a chapter in which we learned that Mogadien is running the Black Aja now, and I was like,
yeah,
cool.
Well, at least this circle of Black Aja, there's obviously very many more of them, but we learn a few things, which is very interesting. Leandrin swore her oath to the Dark One before becoming an Aes Sedai, before heading to the tower.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. Steak, thank you for that super chat.
Nerdy. I'm still gonna put stuff on Nerdyland. But I'm gonna stream here and put content there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. This is the kind of writing where I get like. I like we learn that other people have orders that Leandrin doesn't have, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
I wish more happened in this chapter because I like the Leandrin POV. But the and I can't hear what's happening, but that person is upset about what they have to do. And this person who I don't have a relationship with any of these characters. So like I don't know what would upset that character. So it's just kind of like, okay, cool.
It was also really fun because we know Leandrin is like, I have this little trick. Leandrin's like, I have my trick, my little thing. It's so cool because it's my thing. And Mogadien is like, oh, that thing that you just tried to do to me? Yeah, let me show you what that is really like. And I was like, this is so dark. I was like, oh my god.
It kind of bugged me though.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, why does Leandrin think that she stands a chance?
I don't know.
Like, Leandrin, the woman is
way too cocky.
3,000 years older than you.
Yeah.
It would be like Harry Potter being like, I think I can get the drop on Dumbledore.
Well, and that's,
you know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean?
If Leandrin was smarter, she would like try and learn from Mogadien in those moments instead of being like, I'm gonna do what I need to do for now. And it's like, you're fucked.
Oh, she's definitely cocky, but I was like, Leandrin.
Yeah, I do also. On. Yeah, I love that Mogadien was the maid. And
yeah, because she's good at being a spy.
Yes, Mogadien is actually good at being a spy. But when Leandrin is like, well, if Mogadien had been there when those Aes Sedai screwed up our plans, then we would have been fine. And it's like, well, actually.
Yeah, well, because we do learn Leandrin didn't know that Nynaeve was there.
Yes,
and that she doesn't believe the woman who says that Nynaeve was there, which is interesting. Yeah, she thinks that the Aes Sedai showed up. And yeah, that was actually really interesting.
She is the epitome of cocky, for reals.
Mogi is probably less than 100 years old. No, because they say that they
have,
were
like, long life, right?
The Chosen were in the dream world while they were not on Earth, right?
But not while they were imprisoned, I don't think.
Yeah, while they were imprisoned, they were like around the dream world, sort of in the same way that Brigitte is, right? And so like Mogadien has had plenty of time.
They were trapped.
In the real world, yeah.
No, I don't think they were in the dream world.
Oh, I thought Brigitte said that they like saw them around.
No, not okay. No.
I misunderstood.
They were asleep and could not dream. Yeah. They were stuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, like.
But still, it's a chosen. It's a chosen.
But also, Leandrin knows that like most of what they knew about the One Power was lost. So like the chosen know literally. The chosen have probably forgotten more about the One Power than the Black Aja have ever learned, right? Like it's just kind of I was just kind of like, Leandrin, you're not gonna win this fight.
Yeah. Leandrin needs to smarten up and like actually.
She is the villain, so I would be okay if she. I want to be clear, like if Leandrin gets killed, I'm good with that. She's a bad guy.
No, totally. I just want to see her be a little more like devious, right? Like I want her to be like a challenge. And
Moghedien is awesome to me now, though. And
Moghedien is great.
The reason why I love Moghedien here is because Leandrin is like, oh no, I treated her like a maid. She's gonna be pissed. And Moghedien's like, no, I wanted to be undercover.
That's how this works. That means I'm
not mad at you for treating me the way that you did. It means I did what I was trying to do well. It's okay. We're good. You work for me now.
Yeah.
Like Moghedien gets it in a way that I wish our other characters got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Moghedien wants Nynaeve.
Oh, wait. One other thing. Moghedien does not have the ageless face for some reason.
She doesn't?
No, because Leandrin is like this dark friend. Why is everyone treating this dark friend? And then she's like, oh, it's because I'm Moghedien. I found it really interesting that Moghedien doesn't have like the ageless face thing that makes you immediately see that they're an Aes Sedai. Because Leandrin doesn't think that she's an Aes Sedai right away. She thinks that she's just a regular dark friend. And apparently Moghedien can like hide the ageless face thing. And I thought that was really interesting. Do you not think that? I
missed that.
Yeah, when Leandrin walks into the room, she's like, oh, it's just a regular person, right?
Yeah.
And so I really loved that I love the reason for that being that like the ageless face. What? William Reese.
William Reese. Thank you
for that super duper chat. Holy crap.
Super.
Y'all have been very nice to us today.
Super duper chat.
I love watching you two speculate and how right and wrong you are. So the right one and the wrong one. I've read the books 5 times. I still find things I missed on previous reads. I'm biding my time until he gets chapter 55. That's one reaction I will not miss.
All right.
There's a part of me that thinks like, because we did a reaction to Obi-Wan. There's a part of me that almost thinks that we should do like a reaction to the audiobook for like big chapters.
Oh, to the audiobook. I was like, to us reading?
No, but like do like a like audiobook reaction to like the chapters that everyone says are like the big chapters.
That would be interesting.
I don't know if legally we could.
I don't know if legally we could either, but that is interesting.
Thank you so much, William Reese. That is an unbelievable kindness. And we all the super chats, y'all. This is free content, and we are gonna keep doing the show no matter what. But the fact that you guys think to support us in that way is just, it's so kind, and we're very grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
I know.
Every single one, no matter the size. Obviously, like the big ones are like they hit in a different way, obviously.
Yeah.
For reasons, but like we appreciate all of them no matter what. And honestly, we just appreciate that anyone shows up for this. Like this is the highlight of our week, and you guys are awesome, and we're just so grateful that anyone wants to do this with us.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I don't know.
Apparently people reacting to the audiobook would be something that people would have fun with. So.
Okay, maybe we can do something with that. Well, we'll look into it, especially for the legal reasons. I don't know if any of the Forsaken have a ageless face.
Yeah, but
Robin is very handsome. Samael has that scar, but he's still good looking. Like Lanfear doesn't have the ageless face. She's just very, very beautiful.
This was the first time that I noticed them talk about it, I guess. And also, like, the men might have it, and it looks different on the men. So I guess that Lanfear would be the only other one.
But yeah, Lanfear doesn't have that. Graendal, that it didn't say had that either.
That's true.
It was like, Graendal's beautiful until Lanfear walks in the room. Like, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, so Leandrin is down to work from Moghedien now because they're going after our
for
girl.
Now, yeah. Also,
Nynaeve.
Leandrin is like, I learned myself to channel, but I'm not a wilder like Nynaeve. I'm like, how? How are you not? It is literally the same thing. How you are justifying that in your head, I do not understand.
Because she's a villain.
Fair.
The problem is our heroes sometimes justify themselves the same way our villains do, and that makes it complicated.
Sure do. All right, my favorite
3 chapters left. Guys, like the video before we get into Clarus's favorite chapter.
Like it.
Go down and just, smash
the
like button.
Yes.
What's your favorite chapter?
Chapter 19.
19? That's the next one.
That's the next one.
What?
And it's Morghese.
We're doing this chronologically.
And Morghese is like, wait, why am I sitting here reading a book?
That happens to me, though. I don't need Raven in my life to do that. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Why am I watching TikTok? What? How did I get here?
How did I find myself in this situation?
Why do I have a Starbucks? Did I go to Starbucks? That's weird.
Coffee? How did this get in my hand? I love this.
I don't have any more coffee.
I'm so sorry. I love this part.
Mm-hmm.
I love this part. Morghese is like, I don't know what's happening. And it goes down. She sees...
Well, no, Talanvor shows up.
Oh, that happens first,
and
yes.
is like kind of like doing his job, but giving her a little bit of shit for it.
Yeah, he's
like,
upset. He's upset. And he's like, there's rebellion. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, the two rivers rebelling. And she was like,
this is the closest, and this is where I was like, where the heck is Perrin?
Yeah, I know.
Why haven't we seen my boy?
The closest we got to Perrin.
This is why this is my least favorite book, is because my boy is not here.
Exactly.
And I miss him.
Exactly. Yeah, so Morghese is like, why doesn't Gabriel know? And Talonvor's like, oh no, he does know. And she's like, what? And he didn't tell me? And so she's like, all right. She like sees him with all these nobles that she hates, that opposed her, very sneaky, sly, not good, no good people.
Well, and Talanvor tells her that the banner of Manethrin is flying again over the two rivers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so Morghese is like, all right, I'm gonna go tell Gabriel off.
Perrin has been locked in the honeymoon suite by Fail.
Probably. Yeah. We don't need the POV of that.
Robert Jordan couldn't write about what's happening to Perrin right now because it is not appropriate for the book.
Yeah. Yeah, so we see this moment where Morghese is kind of coming to, and you can tell that Raven is trying to put, like, it's more of like a slight compulsion, like, oh, honey, go, whatever, I dealt with it. And she's like, what is, he like calls her like a pet name or something, and she's like, excuse me?
I love it when he calls me that in private, but in front of these motherfuckers?
Yeah. Absolutely not. And we see Raven lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want the POV of the people in the circle watching of like what that looked like.
We might see it on Amazon Prime's The Wheel of Time.
We might, yeah. But this is oh God, I loved this chapter because suddenly Morghese is like snaps to, and she's somewhere else and has no like recollection of being there, and it's terrifying and heartbreaking. And
I appreciated the way Robert Jordan, because there's a very dark non-consensual relationship here, right?
Yeah.
I appreciated the weight that Robert Jordan gave to that without having too many of the details of it.
Yes.
And also that Morghese isn't saved from it by another character. She overcomes it herself.
Yeah.
I think that there is a power in the way that, because it could be very hard to write Morghese and Raven and the relationship and what happens, and because, you know, she's being like systemically raped over the course of almost a year of her life by this man, right? And that's
like
really
magically gaslit, and yeah, it is so dark, but I think it is handled well. Yeah,
but I think that he did a good job here of giving it weight, but also not going into too many details. And also Morghese has agency in the way that she gets out of it.
Yeah.
I think that is a big part of why I think that this is a more tasteful way than I think that like George R. Martin would not have written this well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that Robert Jordan actually really did. As much as I don't like the Egwene Nynaeve scene earlier in this section, the way that this has been handled with Morghese, and I understand why it's necessary for the story, and I get it. But it's handled in a way that doesn't feel gross to read, which I appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she finds herself like almost at the place where she was like compelled to like wait for him. And she can feel the compulsion. She like recognizes that it's there and is somehow able to fight it. And she like finds herself, she doesn't even really think about it, but she finds herself in the like pensioners' quarters. And this was so sweet. I was like, Morghese has like a pensioners wing for people who've spent their whole lives here. They get discounted food, room and board.
They get discounted food. I love that there's a literal senior discount. It's so like
you pay less than market price, and it was just like the sweetest thing. I was like, I love this idea so freaking much, because Morghese cares, and it shows through those little things, right? We don't need to be like, Morghese is a good character, right? It's that she cares about the people and especially those who are loyal to her and they have a home forever, right? Like they have a place to be and be comfortable. And I just thought it was so beautiful. I was reading this like, this is the sweetest thing ever.
Well, and we've had Linny built up.
Yeah.
Where Nynaeve has been like, I would like to meet this Linny.
And Elaine talks about her all the time.
And this scene delivered. Linny's rad.
Yeah.
I like Linny a lot. Granted, I tend to like old lady characters who are like stubborn. Like what's the Tyrell? What's her name?
Is it
Marjorie's grandmother.
Yeah.
Like maybe my favorite Game of Thrones character.
Yes.
Like I love like tough old ladies.
Yeah.
And this was like the best kind of tough old lady.
The Queen of Thorns, I think is her nickname.
Yeah. Just
Olenna. I was like, it's not Lyanna. That's wrong.
Just loved Joe Cross. Thank you for joining the Nargs for a third month.
Cross,
truck drivers love Audible.
Let's go.
I hear that.
That is valid. Yeah.
If you're driving in a truck and you need oral satisfaction, audibletrial.com/nerdy that's the shirt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I Linny, the way that she is haranguing Morghese a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's not mean. Like she's
never cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just a little like, I don't care. Like I'm gonna behave the way I'm gonna behave. But she's not. Sometimes the old lady trope gets taken too far to where they're like kind of vile.
Yeah.
She's not. She's like
awful. Yeah.
She's like a warm hug, you know. And I just love her so much. I'm already like so enamored with this character, and I think she's gonna die, and it's gonna break me.
Yeah. When she talks about like, she's like, how am I gonna keep up with Elaine's babies? And I was like,
that was maybe the sweetest moment.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
I can't slow down now. There's another generation that I've got to raise. And I was like, Linny, you mad lad.
Yeah. She is delightful. And this what?
We Love Time says I need to make a shirt that says that's the shirt. That's funny.
Truly, yeah.
And on the back, it's just all the things I said were going to be a shirt that haven't become one.
The list goes on. Yeah. No, she's wonderful.
But so Morghese is like, can you go find Talandor for me? And Talandor comes, and he's kind of a prissy little dude about it, but he's right.
Well, she keeps
Morghese
calling him a child, and he's like 45.
He's not 45.
Yeah.
He's like 35.
All right, and whatever, yeah.
He's younger than Morghese.
Yes, but like not by much.
But and we get the realization that like all of her allies have been exiled, and she doesn't remember doing it.
Yeah.
Like she is
like
so
her friends,
fogged.
The people who like backed her up right away.
Yeah.
And like there's a way that this could have been very cruel, especially with when Linny is like, you need to know there are 6 other girls plus Ultima that Lord Gabriel is seeing.
Yeah.
5 of them literally have their own quarters in the castle.
Yeah.
So
and Altaima.
And Altaima, yeah. And the one thing though that was interesting is one of them doesn't live in the castle and is like ushered out under a hood. I don't actually think that that's a lover. I think that is an like important like character.
Well, I don't know who it is though.
It's if it's important enough to like differentiate and like mention. I wonder if it's like another Forsaken or an apprentice.
The Forsaken can just walk through the.
I know, that's why
gateways,
it's weird, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that whoever this person is who's being like hooded and like hurried in and out of the castle is not.
It'll be interesting when we learn that.
It's going to be like a person that either is going to be important or that we will recognize.
Do you want to talk about the weirdest thing that's revealed in this section?
What is the weirdest thing?
Yes. Rand and Elaine are brother and sister.
Yes, they're half siblings.
So we have found our
Jaime
Cersei relationship.
So that is if we are under the assumption that Tigraine is Rand's mother, which is what we have.
Oh, the woman in the hood is the Aes Sedai from the prologue, to hide her ageless face.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Rand and Elaine are brother and sister, which is very strange.
Yeah. If Tigraine is Rand's mom,
yes,
which is what it makes it sound like in the previous book.
Everyone's saying we're wrong, but I don't think we are.
Okay, well, unless we're wrong about Tigraine.
So then who
Unless we're wrong about Tigraine.
Tigraine pregnant then? So Tigraine, okay, but so Tigraine shows up to the waist pregnant, having left.
What's his name? Starts with a T.
Oh, maybe she fled to the waist because it wasn't her husband who got her pregnant. So that's why she left.
No, she fled to the waist because there was a prophecy thing that was like, if you don't leave, you will die.
But so Morghese married the guy who Tigraine was married to, right?
Yes.
I got that much of it right.
There's where I should have written down the actual.
She got pregnant in the waist. Wait, I said she got pregnant in the waist.
No, she shows up and it was like there's like a prophecy where like you need to leave now and have this baby out over there because it's important.
Was she already pregnant when she got to the waist? I feel like, yeah, I was right, and Rand's dad is Aiel. Okay, so I was right last night when I said that.
Okay, all right.
She just shows up to the waist.
Okay, I thought.
But she wasn't already. She was pregnant when she comes back from the waist. No, she can't have been pregnant with Rand when she got to the waist.
Why?
Because she has to be trained as a spear sister. Like, she must have been there for more than 9 months.
Oh.
Right? So she was pregnant when she came back from the waist, but she wasn't pregnant when she went to the waist. Right? I'm right. I think I'm right.
Okay, all right.
Right? Because she must have been there for like at least a year, right?
Yeah. Because Tigraine had Galad. No, wait. No, Galad is...
Okay. Oh, okay. So, no. So Galad is Tigraine's son.
Yeah.
With the guy... So she had a child and then went to the waist.
Okay.
And then had another child. So Rand and Elaine are not related through Tigraine.
Thank God. Because I was reading this and I was like...
But there is an M between them, right? So
okay.
Rand is related to Tigraine, who is Galad's mom, who has the same dad as Elaine. So they're not related, but they do have the same half brother. That's still not great. That's still not awesome
it's
in
weird.
terms of them.
Yeah.
They share a half brother, but they're not related.
Okay.
So they are not related, but they're related. Right?
Okay. All right. I'm great. That is much better than what I thought was going on.
Oh, right, because we see Rand's father in the Aiel flashbacks.
What?
In the Aiel flashbacks, we meet Rand's dad.
Oh,
when he's in Ruidin.
Oh.
I was right last night. You had me so convinced.
Sorry. I was like, what am I reading? Like, I was like, I can't,
It's still...
Because I literally, like, yelled it at you yesterday.
They're, like, kind of step-siblings, yeah, but not really step-siblings.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they definitely did
Here's
not
the thing.
grow up
You're
together.
smarter than I am, so when you say something, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm wrong. But I was right this... I want this on record. The husband in this situation was correct. It won't happen again for 6 moons, but this one time...
Yes,
I don't know what 6 moons is.
I don't know either. All right, they're not blood related, so this is good.
That makes me feel better, because you had me convinced last night that we were doing another Game of Thrones.
I was like, what the actual F? Okay.
You were so upset.
Cool. I was very upset. Great. Okay, good.
So yeah, they flee, and they're gonna go to Gareth Bryan. And Talonvor's the one that says to go to Gareth Bryan, because she thinks that he committed treason, which I don't think happened. Talonvor's like, we have to go to Gareth Bryan, he's the right one. And I was like, he's not gonna be there.
Yeah, I know.
They're step siblings.
Step siblings.
Oh
man,
so then,
okay, I feel much better. Oh, thank God.
Weirdly, this chapter then cuts to Padden Fane's point of view, which I found like...
Very jarring?
Yeah, very unrelated.
Super random. Probably should have been its own chapter. I don't know what it is. So
he is sneaking around the White Tower, and he sneaks into the room where
the dagger is.
The dagger is.
Yes. And he's like cackling to himself because he picks the locks and he's like, stupid Aes Sedai. This is so easy. And then he gets in there, he gets the dagger, and there's an accepted there that he straight up just murders.
Yeah, he kills a little girl.
Yeah. And Alviarin is Black Aja, which surprised absolutely no one.
It surprised me.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah,
I was like, this makes total sense. That Alviarin would be so ready to depose Swan because it would get her in a position of power in the New Order that wasn't the head, right? And she talks about it. She's like, if I wanted to be number one, I would be number one. Like, come on, guys.
It makes sense. I didn't think about it. So in the moment, I was like, it wasn't surprising to me in a way that it doesn't make sense. It was surprising to me that in the moment I went, oh. And then I thought about it for a second and went, oh.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It surprised me in that I just hadn't really considered Alviarin. And now I'm looking back going, why didn't I? This is such a, like, it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah,
and
it
even,
makes total sense.
Even Padden Fane is like, why don't you could be the Amerlin seat. And Alviarin's like, that's not what I want.
Why the hell would I know?
The evil characters in these books are so much better at all of this than the good characters.
Yeah.
We're at a point in this book where I'm like, why doesn't the dark side win this? They're so much more competent.
Well, we'll see. We shall see, because Balsamon really was not.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense for it to be Alviarin, but it was surprising, and I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was going to be one of the other, like, Aes Sedai at the Council of Ladies in the prologue. I think that, like, her being a white, to me, her being all, like, law and order and, like, justice, that is why I think that I overlooked her. I was like, it would be, a black coming from that Aja in particular seems like the furthest leap.
Yeah.
But I am into it. And I like Alviarin a lot in this scene. I also like that Padden Fane is so smart that he is like, why would the Dark One tell you why I'm here?
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't work for the Dark One anymore. But he is still playing that, like, dark friend side.
All sides. Yeah. Every side.
He might be my favorite villain in this series.
Yeah.
Like, he's so fascinating, and the way that he plays everyone is just, it's great. I think he's awesome. But I also, like, I want to know who he works for. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe...
He works for himself.
Maybe he, like, fully is Ordeath and Mordeth in a way. I guess I want to know what his goal is. Because when he was with the Sanchin, it was a little more clear. Right now, he's just kind of, like, doing stuff. But...
Yeah, like, what his, like, end goal is. Because he wants to kill Rand. Very clearly.
I think I want to spend more time with him. He keeps getting these, like, chunk chapters at the end of a chapter, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's so fascinating.
But he wants the Horn of Valir. Do you think he's going to get it again? Do you think we're going to hunt for the Horn again?
I don't know why he wants it, because he would need Matt to use it.
We have 9 books left. We could hunt for the Horn a second time.
We could, yeah.
That is the true filler of the Wheel of Time, is they just keep losing the Horn.
And having to find it again. It's just under the chair.
Yeah, I like Padden Fane a lot. Alviarin. Honestly, like, I wish that this chapter was longer, because I enjoyed spending time with the two of them. It was very cool.
Yeah, then we finally...
But he's not going to get the Horn. No, he's not, because he's leaving Tarvalon.
Yeah.
Who do you think his followers are? Do you think it's the White Cloaks from earlier, or do you think he has new followers?
Oh, definitely some of them.
Because he says he hopes the humans are alive, so I'm wondering, like, who else is following him.
Yeah.
Oh, that Murdral probably from earlier. The one that he was, like, spit roasting.
Torturing?
Yeah. Not that way.
Anyways, Rand. We get some Rand chapters.
Yeah, no Perrin.
No Perrin, but Rand is following behind the Shaido, and they come across a city that has been completely massacred.
Well, that's the last chapter. Before that, we get this chapter where Rand, Moraine is trying to talk to Rand, and he's not really paying attention. And then finally, he's like, "I'm not trying to be a dick. I can't right now." And she's like,
"All right." Fine.
Their relationship is very fascinating right now.
Yeah, I love it. I love this whole dynamic that they have.
But Rand is looking up at the mountain and he sees a port. And I loved the interaction with him in Asmodean where he's like, "What city is that?" And he's like, "I don't know. Could be my hometown. It's a port. Could be any of them."
Yeah.
Things went a little weird. I don't know if you know this. And then I went to sleep for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what port that is.
Yeah.
They kind of all look the same. But also Rand knows that the Amerlin seat has been deposed because he has been told.
Yeah.
And yeah. So then that's that whole chapter. That's basically all that happens. Chapter 21.
Excuse me, sorry.
The gift of a blade.
Excuse me, sorry.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
So they get to Tayan. And they find that there has been
A massacre.
A massacre.
Yep, the Aiel came in, took everything, strung up the bodies.
Not the Aiel, the Shido.
Sorry, yes, the Shido.
Yeah.
Because, fuck Cúladin.
Well, and I don't know how much longer they will be considered Aiel, which is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Aiel live by Giotto. And
they have completely abandoned
They've abandoned Giotto by taking children as Gai Shan and dragging them naked out of town.
Yeah.
Which is Le Dark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, pup? Cúladin can suck a big old bag of dicks.
Yeah, he sucks. I wonder if he's gonna be kind of like the big bad of this book. Like if it's going to be like a full-scale kind of war.
I don't really think he could be the big bad, because Rand could wipe him off the face of the earth with a thought.
Yeah.
Like Cúladin doesn't
need to catch
pose
up.
like a threat to Rand.
They just need to. They just need to like. They just need to catch up. They just need to catch up to them.
Seasting does bring up a great line. Why do I have to carry the banner? Because you were chosen.
Yeah.
It's a great use of the word chosen there.
Yeah.
Double meanings.
That was amazing.
Double entendre. Yeah,
sure.
so Tayan, this is dark.
Yeah, there's about 100 survivors, so at least some people lived, I guess.
Yeah, and Rand is like, we're taking them with us. And I was like...
I love that the Aiel scared the crap out of them by, like, popping out of the freaking rocks. I was like, ooh, that's not going to go over
and
well.
the Aiel are like, what? There was no danger. And Rand is like, no, that's not the point,
you don't.
guys.
Yeah.
The cultural differences between the Aiel and the Randlanders is just great.
Randlanders.
Like, it is a never-ending source of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what's-her-face is married. The
Bale?
One of them.
Is it? No, they married to Bale. Bayer, was it?
And Deandra is the other one.
Yeah.
And Rand is like, did he really not know? And they're like, no, why does he need to know? Avienda's like, nah, he didn't need to know.
He didn't need to know he's about to get married.
The women agreed. It was good.
I know. And then he's like, I still don't understand why they fought. And Avienda's like, what, you think she needs to be a weakling? I'm like, you gave your new husband a black eye?
The wedding has to be in the show.
It's like a Dothraki wedding.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like, this part was a little bit strange to me. I was like, so the husband and wife wrestle?
Hot. No, everyone wrestles. 200 people wrestled. And bled. I love that they were like, blood. No one died, but blood was shed. And I was like, guys, you guys are literally marching towards battle, and now one of your leaders has a limp.
Yeah, no, he was like, I don't think that he would have got her if the other girl hadn't punched her in the ribs or something. I was like, what is happening right now?
Dragon Snack says, is it that hard to remember all the different named characters? Yes it is.
Yes. If we posted a list, it would take up the entire wall.
Just like the ceiling, just write in Sharpie all of the names. But then we would never find any of them.
Exactly.
We'd have to have them in sections.
Disorganized. Yeah. And then we find out about these, the wreaths.
William Reese, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you.
Take a couple of days and go back to book 1, look at all the foreshadowing and realize that you still have in store. There are things from book 1 that don't pay off until the final book. That's fantastic.
I do love that.
I'm not going to go read all of those books again. But it's because I literally don't have time. I would love to do a reread of book 1 through 4 and before 5. I would love to reread all the... Because if they were coming out...
If only we had the time.
If they're coming out, years apart, we could do that every time. But right now, it's tough.
Yeah, it really is.
But no, William Reese, you are right. There are still so many, prophecies that we have not completed yet.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't actually talk about Egwene's dreams, either.
Gregory Love says book 6 and 7 is when the names really get out of hand. If we're not out of hand now, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Do we want to talk about Egwene's dreams a little bit? Because there's nothing much that happens at the end of these chapters.
There's one thing that actually, I do want to talk about.
Okay,
I
great.
took a picture of it. Sometimes the dreams were complex. Perrin lounging with Fael on his lap, kissing her.
I took a picture of.
That one's fun, but whatever. They're making out. They're having sex.
I literally pulled up this picture and was like, do we want to talk about this? And you're like, no, I have something I want to talk about first. And I'm like, it's literally the exact same thing.
Oh, no, I said, no, I do want to talk about Egwene's dream.
Oh, I was like,
no, I was agreeing
there's
with
nothing
you. Sorry,
in that chapter. I thought you were pulling up something from another chapter.
No, I literally was
all right,
cool. You can read it off your phone if you want.
No, it's fine. I thought you were pulling up something else. So when you started,
no, I was bringing up the same. I was bringing up the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disagree with you though. I was I thought I was agreeing.
That was good.
The thing about the Tinker in this is that every time he moved closer to Perrin, it was as if a chill of doom shot through everything. What do you think that means? Do you think that Aram is going to die, or do you think that Aram will eventually try and kill Perrin?
I don't know if Aram is going to try and kill Perrin, but I think that Aram is going to be one of those characters similar to Galad, where he's trying to do what he thinks is right, or he's going to be maybe overtaken with violence and vengeance, that he is going to do some evil things. And maybe he's a bad influence on Perrin.
I like that, yeah.
Right? Like...
Matt throwing dice with blood streaming down his face, the wide brim of his hat pulled down so low she could not see the wound. That feels like that happens every night to Matt. So it doesn't feel like a prophecy. It feels like that was like yesterday. Tom Maryland put his hand... His
Aiel girlfriend just gave him a really rough night.
I think she's given him some rough nights, and he's very happy about it.
Oh, yes.
Their breakup is going to be tough, though, because we know that he's going to marry the 9 moons or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Tom Maryland put his hand into a fire to draw out the small blue stone that now dangled on Moraine's forehead.
I mean, yeah, that one's interesting, because we know that stone eavesdrops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's going to have several different meanings / connections.
Yeah.
We'll see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the one about Rand. Rand sitting down in a chair, and somehow she knew that the chair's owner would be murderously angry at having her chair taken. That the owner was a woman was as much as she could pick out of that, and not a thing more.
I think that is the Sanchin. The high blood or whatever. I think that will be the Sanchin. Because I think Rand and Matt have to deal with the Sanchin.
I was thinking maybe it was Rand will take the White Tower. And that Aleda is the person whose chair he sits in.
Oh, interesting.
Or he sits on the throne of Andor, and Morgase loses it.
I don't think so. I think it belongs to Elaine. I do not think Rand is going to be the first male king of Andor. I don't think it's Andor. My initial guess was the Sanchin throne.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe it is the White Tower.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know for sure. Yeah. And this is at the bottom of this. I saw an arrest warrant for you, Moraine, signed by Aleda as Amerlin. Who is gonna arrest Moraine? Like, who is the warrant with?
With just Aes Sedai, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just among the Aes Sedai.
I kind of want there to be bounty hunters.
Bounty hunter? Boba Fett shows up?
I want Boba Fett. I am Boba Fett.
Oh my god.
And then, there was something, I pulled this, I can't remember why
You screenshotted that page?
Yeah, there was something in this.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I do that too, where I take a picture
way back in the beginning, Nynaeve getting upset about the idea of men as doctors. And Nynaeve is like, men couldn't be doctors. I would never go to a man. What would a man ever know about herbs? And I was like, she's kind of like knowledge. Like, it's not even like a
it's
intuition
just you learn things. Yeah.
Nynaeve is just like so judgmental of the idea of male herb doctors in that chapter, which I was like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nynaeve.
I can't with Nynaeve right now. We've talked enough about her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was all the things that I wanted to touch on. I wanted to make sure we got to those dreams, because I think that they will be important.
Oh, we didn't talk in a Galad and Egwene. The Galad being like, is Egwene with you? No.
Sad.
Gawain will be sad because he loves her too. And I was like, are Galad and Gawain gonna like fight over Egwene at some point?
When Egwene kind of sucks right now.
But Egwene's also is an Aes Sedai, so like Galad, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what Galad is thinking here, because the White Cloaks believe that all Aes Sedai are evil, and he doesn't.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So we'll see where that goes.
So there's a big thing we have to talk about before we get out of here. Galad or Avienda gives Rand a sword.
Yes.
But not just any sword. A heron-marked blade.
Yeah, that belonged to the king of the tree killers.
Kyrianin. Yeah, Laman or Laman. Laman.
Maybe Rand, the throne he will sit on, is the Kyrian throne.
Oh, which also kind of belongs to Morgase.
Does it?
Yeah.
Not at this moment.
Isn't she supposed to like marry into that throne?
That they were plotting to.
Oh, yeah.
How much you want to bet that Amazon is calling me?
Yeah, no, so what do you think of the sword? What do you think of Laman's blade?
I mean, God, it's so gaudy and gross. I love that he's like, I'll take the sword. I don't want the sheath.
I'll take the blade, but not the hilt. So he just wants that blacksmith to rip it apart.
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool. I love that he's like starting to recognize that kind of thing. Like he's like, ooh, I need land to tell me to be sure, but I think that this is that like metal that can't be dulled. Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically pretty obvious, I think.
I do love that Avienda gets pissed because she's like, well, now I owe you more. Like, just.
He's like, no, it was already yours to begin with. The whole like Aiyo reasoning, that whole thing is a little bit confusing to me.
I think that Avienda wants clarity on where they stand. But Rand doesn't know her culture well enough to give her that clarity, and so they just end up at this impasse.
Yeah.
And then so at some point they started sleeping in the same room, and so she's naked, fully naked behind him, and he's like, she's naked right now.
He's like, I don't know if it's worse if the lights are off or not.
It's also weird that she won't just say that Egwene gave her the necklace.
Yeah, I don't know. That also does not make sense to me at all, to be honest.
Fabumus, a lot of people want the blade, but not the hilt. If you have a really good, well-made blade, you can change the hilt out, but you can't, like, the blade is the most important part of the sword. I think Fabumus might be talking about a penis, but,
Oh, God. Yeah, this sword is going to be important. I wonder if Moraine is going to recognize it.
Well, because it's Kyrianan?
Because it's her, like, what, like, great-uncles or something like that?
Yeah.
Her somehow related to her ancestors.
I did like the line. I appreciate the line where she was like, where Rand was like, the Aes Sedai in her overrules her being a tree killer, but I'm not sure by how much. That was cool.
Yeah.
This was interesting. I definitely think that in talking about it, I found more positives in this reading section than I felt reading it.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I came into this being like, I don't want to talk about the book this week. Like, I did not enjoy this very much, but we talked about it, and honestly, there was a lot to enjoy in this. Mm-hmm. Even with the Egwene Nynaeve stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Which means it's a good time for our highs and our lows. This is a thing from my childhood family dinner table, where we talk about our highs of our day and our lows. So we could celebrate the highs, commiserate over lows. We do this the same way every week. Clarissa's high, my low. Clarissa's low, my high. We're going to compliment Sandwich this section. Mm-hmm. Clarissa, what was your high?
I feel like mine is pretty obvious because I kind of said, obviously, I loved chapter 19 for many, many reasons. Mm-hmm. But the specific high is more, Morghese, and her, in the, like, pensioners wing.
Yeah, Linny.
Yeah, with Linny, and that it's there, and that she's fighting this compulsion and getting her perspective on it. I loved all of that a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. My low is Egwene and Nynaeve in the sexual assault scene. Like, what else would it be?
Yeah.
It is my low of everything so far.
That is also my low. I don't really want to try and find another low. Yeah. My low is Nynaeve and Egwene right now. They piss me off.
Yep.
What's your high?
That's tough. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think. My high, because I don't want to just do Linny again, but I think like Linny is the high of the week.
That's okay.
Linny's fantastic.
Oh, we got back to Basil Gill.
Oh, Basil. We did skip over Basil.
Yes. I mean, you guys know. And
I did like
he's a good Queen's man.
They're all going on the journey. And Morghese is like, this is my army. I've got a middle-aged soldier, an innkeeper, this dude and his sister, his wife, and my old nanny.
Yeah. We're going to conquer the world.
We're going to rock this convoy across the USA. Convoy.
Yeah.
So that's our show. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, leave mean comments down below. The algorithm god is hungry, and ye must feed her.
Ye must feed her.
This is brought to you by Audible. Once again, audibletrial.com/nerdynightly, where you can go to be orally stimulated by books. And you get a free one and a free month of Audible if you sign up using our code over at audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
Book Club, brought to you by Aural Stimuli.
I mean, literally, it's a podcast. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And that we do that before the final section because we know that people like to leave for this.
Yes.
We understand. Some people don't like Smut Corner, but we do because we ain't nothing but a hound dog. Can I have some gamer subs?
Yeah, go for it. Guys.
Speaking of Smut Corner, look at that waifu cup. Hot.
Guys, gamer subs. We're also partnered with them. Honestly, I drink this stuff all the time.
It's good.
We don't sponsor things we don't use, and it's delicious. Smut Corner. For me,
the Smut Corner this week is being orally stimulated by audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
I definitely think that this book could have used the exact details of what Fail is doing to Perrin on their honeymoon.
We might get that next week, though. You don't know.
I think we'll get, like, the memories of it. You know, like, the vague
Thanks
outline.
for the memories.
Yeah. I want this to turn into a smut book. I need some 50 Shades of Grey in the middle of my Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Where, except, you know what? Honestly, I think Fail is the Dom.
Fair.
I think so.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would definitely have. I think that Moghedien should have asserted her dominance a little bit stronger with the Black Aja and just had a little bit of a like all lady orgy.
No, they're being compulsed.
No. There's no compulsion. They want it. She's like a really strong dom, and they're all like subs for the Dark Lord. You know what I mean? So
she doesn't actually use the one power on them. She just went to the Domani women, and they taught her how to walk.
I just think that like the Black Aja orgy would be a fun scene to watch for reasons.
I mean, they're all friends who are also trying to murder each other and backstab one another at the same time.
You know, I think that Nynaeve is very tense. I feel like Galad, they should have like met up at the Light of the White or whatever, the Light of the World or whatever it is. I think that Nynaeve should have eased some tension on his apparently chiseled from the marble of the gods face.
Nynaeve should have smothered his face.
Yeah.
And, you know, then if Galad, we never saw him again, it's, well, that's too bad.
You know, lip to lip. But, you know, which lip to which lip? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. Honestly, yeah, Nynaeve needs to get some because she's way too uptight right now. She needs to chill out, please, dear God.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There aren't a lot of other great scenes for...
Fayo's at Power Bottom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should have seen the Aiel orgy that was the wedding.
The wedding.
Yeah, why didn't we get that?
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
I would like that, please.
You don't know where one dick ends and the next one begins, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, the best Smut Corner is the Aiel wedding. Come on. How can we top that? 200 people in a pile wrestling, getting a little bloody, getting a little sweaty.
Oh my God. Good thing they all can take a shower afterwards. Just kidding, they sweat shower.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.